It's Wednesday, December 17th. Today, weather extremes. How southern Manitoba is preparing to meet a winter walloping expected to start later today. Transit concerns. It's not just the longer walk that has riders complaining about a bus stop relocated further from a hospital's front doors. And an historic gift. Stars receives a multi-million-dollar donation to help on critical missions. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley McPhail is visiting one of my favorite places, the Manitoba Museum, because they are ready for the holidays. They're ready to receive you and your families and to come and check out some of the brand new exhibits and some of the cool things they have going on during the holidays. So stay tuned for that throughout the morning. But it's going to be quite a day in Manitoba, pretty much throughout the prairies.
For sure, southern Manitoba anyway. So yeah, brace yourself and get ready for it because winter is arriving in a very, very big way. Here's a look outside right now, and it's minus 16. Winds at the moment, they're minus 20, or sorry, feeling like minus 25, and that's because of those winds. They're out of the south, 20 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 78%. So taking a look right now at the conditions outside, you can see on the satellite image right now, there's not a whole lot going on right now. Oops, sorry, my IFB is giving me problems this morning. Anyway, it's southern Manitoba right now. Here you can see it's on the clearer side at this moment, but the heavier clouds through central Manitoba, there might be a few flakes of snow in there, but there will be plenty more coming in. So this is what we're talking about. It's not first thing this morning. Later today, the snow will begin. Here we'll stop it at about midday, and there you can see just the first little bit of snowfall coming through. Now, once it starts, it's actually going to continue then into the evening overnight. It's into the evening overnight that those winds increase. They're going to at times be gusting possibly up to 80 kilometers per hour. What that's going to do is create all of the blowing snow, the poor visibility, and possible blizzard-like conditions. Blizzards have more to do with wind and visibility than snowfall amounts, but anyway, it is going to be a little bit dicey into the evening overnight. That'll still likely continue into tomorrow morning, eventually tapering off and then clearing out somewhat. We do have probably another round of snow, and that could come on Friday. So the next few days, expect to see the white stuff piling up, but the worst of it will likely be overnight and into tomorrow when those winds increase, driving the blowing snow and the poor visibility. Once we're looking toward the weekend, though, sunshine returns and it's looking a little bit better.
As Terry mentioned, it's the calm before the storm. Southern Manitoba is expecting a winter walloping today. CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows us how people here have been preparing.
I thought I was going to wash my truck and have a nice, relaxing Wednesday.
Winnipeg resident Joe Fedora says he changed his plans after warnings Tuesday that a blizzard may be coming, and he wants the main routes to be plowed, especially Main Street, where a water main broke last week.
I'm hoping maybe they get the Main Street a little bit straightened out a little bit better because it's down to one lane each way, and with a blizzard, it's not going to be very good going for people that have to work.
Fedora stopped into Pollock's Hardware to find some light bulbs. General Manager Caitlin Peters says she's seen an uptick in customers since the storm warning was announced.
It took a while for everything to freeze, and so in classic Winnipeg fashion, the blizzard's coming out of nowhere, it seems. It tends to be that as soon as a blizzard comes, there's either the panic shoppers right before, and then it kind of tapers off because people don't want to go out in the storm.
On Tuesday afternoon, Environment Canada replaced a flash freeze warning with a winter storm watch with the potential for hazardous winter conditions. Michael Cantor, manager of street maintenance for the City of Winnipeg, says the city has been ready for a month and a half now for significant snow. Cantor says it's a wait-and-see situation.
We'll see what type of amount of snow we're going to get tomorrow and overnight between Wednesday and Thursday, and I would expect us to start plowing overnight and Thursday morning.
Cantor says many streets have already been salted, but sanding will begin Tuesday evening. Earlier in the day, temperatures rose to 5 degrees. Now with temperatures dropping well below zero, Nicholas Burns says he believes climate change is creating chaos with Winnipeg weather.
They call it whiplash weather or weather extremes, yo-yo weather, and this is, I guess, what we've got to get used to now.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The report from Environment Canada says we can expect between 10 to 20 centimeters of snow starting today, with a significant snowfall likely to impact south central Manitoba. The Winnipeg police officers who shot and killed a man who stabbed an officer in the throat will not face charges. Manitoba's police watchdog has closed its investigation into the incident more than a year after the shooting. It all happened at this bus shelter near the Unicity Shopping Centre on November 24th of last year. The IIU says the officers involved declined to be interviewed for the investigation, but gave them notes and a statement. Investigators also spoke with 2 officers and 6 civilians and watched 3 different videos of the incident, including a 20-second video recorded by a civilian. In that video, the 2 officers can be seen with their guns pointed at a man standing in the bus shelter. The IIU said the officers can be heard telling the man to put it down and drop it before the man starts moving towards the officers. There were multiple gunshots fired and he dropped to the ground. He was taken to hospital where he died of his injuries. Autopsy results confirm the man died of multiple gunshot wounds and found he had methamphetamine in his blood at the time. The IIU's director says the shooting was a tragic incident. However, officers didn't commit a criminal offense. The federal government is announcing new regulations to cut methane emissions from the oil and gas sector.
These new enhanced oil and gas regulations are designed to significantly cut methane emissions by over 304 megatons from 2028 to 2040.
The environment minister says new landfill regulations will also cut 100 megatons of emissions by 2040. The government also announced nearly $16 million in investment for 9 methane detection and measurement projects across Canada. A warning about U.S. travel. New data shows more Canadians are being caught up in the immigration crackdown.
From what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
According to numbers released by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, more than 200 Canadians have spent time in custody at some point since January. That's compared to 137 people in 2024. At least 6 of those detained were children. Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada rather than being detained. In Los Angeles, prosecutors say they will charge Nick Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the death of his parents. The bodies of Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner were found in their home on Sunday. Their son was expected to make an initial court appearance Tuesday, but he had not yet been medically cleared to do so. It is a procedural requirement for every inmate going to court. Rob Reiner was one of Hollywood's most prolific directors and won an Emmy for his acting role in the hit TV show All in the Family. Michelle Singer Reiner was a photographer, movie producer, and advocate for LGBTQ2S+ rights. Police have released new video of the suspect in the shooting at Brown University.
We believe that he was actually casing out this area to commit the crime. That's a pattern that criminals do, and that's what he was doing.
Authorities released a slightly clearer image of the man. Investigators have been following hundreds of tips and canvassing homes near the campus for surveillance videos and other clues, but the suspect remains at large. Saturday's attack killed 2 students and wounded 9 others. Winnipeg police have stopped hundreds of vehicles as part of its annual holiday checkstop program, and officers are finding plenty of suspected impaired drivers. According to the latest figures from the police service, between December 8th and 14th, officers stopped 547 vehicles. 22 drivers were found to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Of those, 1 driver failed a drug screening test, and 5 drivers failed tests for alcohol, and 16 warnings were given out. The force is reminding drivers, if you plan to drink or consume cannabis, don't drive. Instead, choose a safe alternative, such as a taxi, transit, or designated driver. The holiday check stops will continue throughout this month and into early January. Last Friday's water main break was more than just an inconvenience for many drivers. It caused real damage to more than a dozen vehicles. Manitoba Public Insurance tells CTV News it received 19 physical damage claims by the end of the day on Sunday. That's just 2 days after crews working at the North End wastewater treatment plant damaged the water main. It caused a torrent of water to flood Main Street near Chief Peguis Trail. MPI says claims should be made as quickly as possible, and damaged vehicles should be fixed at an MPI accredited repair shop. Students at a Winnipeg post-secondary institution will soon be able to get more hands-on experience working with heavy vehicles and developing sustainable technology. RRC Polytech Tuesday unveiled plans for a new facility called the Innovation Garage. Boasting cutting-edge equipment and tools, officials say it will be a space to not only learn about modern heavy vehicle systems, but also develop new technologies in the sector with an emphasis on clean energy and electric vehicles.
Through this investment, Red River College Polytech's instructors and students will gain exposure to an increasing number of live industry projects. They'll have the opportunity to work side by side and create connections with the development staff at our companies. Instructors and researchers will increasingly gain knowledge about practical, real-world applications of advanced technology that they can reference to teach their students who will become our future employees.
The federal and provincial governments are each putting $3.3 million toward the project. Here's a look at what's happening now on Caniston Boulevard. It's the calm before the storm. As you can see here, the streets are clear. Things seem to be moving quite well to start off this Wednesday morning. If you see any problems, text them to us, please, at 10400. Let's go to Terry now on the rooftop. How's it feeling out there? It's a little cooler, isn't it?
I mean, it's a little bit cooler, but it's no more so than what you would expect this time of year. In fact, we're still even a little bit above the seasonal low temperatures. Normal lows would be around -21. We're starting out at -15. Now, there's a bit of a breeze this morning. It's a 21k wind out of the south, making it feel like -25, but still, you're properly dressed for it. It's not too bad overall. The pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 80%. And the sky conditions fairly clear right now. I know we're talking about all the snow that we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days, but it hasn't started yet. That'll likely be beginning about midday. We'll see the clouds increasing throughout the course of the morning, and then around noontime or so, probably start to see those first few flakes of snow. It's going to be mostly central and southern Manitoba impacted by this storm that's coming in. And it's not necessarily the snow. And don't get me wrong, there will be significant snow. It's those winds that'll be really increasing overnight, kicking around the fresh snow. And that's going to create near zero visibility likely in those outlying areas. And so as a result, Environment Canada is warning of blizzard conditions expected into the evening, overnight, and even into tomorrow morning too, before those winds start to taper off and we're able to kind of see again. Now, the snow, that's going to start this afternoon, continue overnight and into tomorrow morning. Then it tapers off, but another round could still come as we're looking toward the end of the week on Friday. Temperature-wise, it's still going to be a mild day, but with those winds increasing into the evening overnight, it's certainly not going to be feeling mild with 80k winds expected. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Good morning. Another complaint over Winnipeg's new transit system. This time it involves a bus stop being moved from Victoria Hospital to Pembina Highway. The former stop was near the front doors where security could oversee it, and a recent threat towards staff has only heightened concerns. CTV's Jeff Keel explains.
This northbound bus stop on Pembina Highway is in a good location for daily rider Ash Carr, but she says it's not ideal for everyone.
For those who are attending the hospital, those who wants to go to hospital, yeah, for them it's difficult.
The stop was moved from the hospital grounds to Pembina as part of the changes to the transit network. City Councillor Sherry Rowland says the hospital has been lobbying Winnipeg Transit for months to move the stop back.
This is just a little thing that can be done to give them the sense of safety back.
The new location is on the edge of the hospital's property, but Rowland says this has created accessibility issues and safety concerns for patients, volunteers, nurses, and other staff, as hospital security was able to keep an eye on the previous location so close to the front doors.
Volunteers and nurses had a proximity to their security on campus, and patients wouldn't have to limp bleeding towards the hospital.
And CTV News has learned about an alleged incident that added to the security concerns. Someone was threatening hospital staff over the phone that they were going to bring vigilantes to the Victoria to liberate a patient. A spokesperson for Winnipeg Transit says they have met with the hospital's administration about their concerns. It says the southbound stop has always been on Pembina, and the northbound one was paired with it for safety and convenience. And A pedestrian half signal was installed. That said, all stops are undergoing review based on feedback and operational data. Some stops will be added, reinstated, removed, or relocated based on this review. Our infrastructure team is evaluating this stop, and we have committed to continuing discussions with Victoria General Hospital in January.
If you need to go to a hospital on a bus, you may be that much more vulnerable.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A spokesperson for the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority says Victoria Hospital has heard about the concerns raised by staff, patients, and volunteers about the relocation. They say the change has created significant challenges for patients with limited mobility, especially during the winter months, and they are mindful of the safety and accessibility concerns this presents for staff and volunteers, many of whom rely on public transit while commuting to and from shift work. They say Winnipeg Transit has reached out to hospital leadership to discuss the impacts from the change, and they are sharing their experiences to inform their next steps. On the alleged threat against staff, Winnipeg police say there was a call for service and that the matter had been resolved. There were no charges and no threat to public safety. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he won't be vacationing in Florida this winter.
They're hurting down there right now. They're hurting on all fronts. They're hurting on their economy. President Trump is at the lowest rating that any government, any president has been in the first year, and God knows probably 100 years. So it's taking effect.
Premier Ford is urging people to travel in Ontario, but he also says they can't let tensions with the U.S. rule their lives. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis responded to Premier Ford online with a post that says, quote, "Actually, we continue to break tourism records and win Stanley Cups." The former head of security at South Beach Casino and Resort has launched a wrongful dismissal lawsuit. Devin Morin alleges he was fired over concerns he raised about the flow of illegal drugs into the facility. In his lawsuit, Morin says he was told in July he was losing his job after a workplace harassment complaint. However, the suit denies the allegation and says Morin was never told what alleged incident or incidents the harassment complaint referred to, saying he was not given a chance to respond. Instead, the court filing claims Morin was fired after, quote, raising concerns with management about the increased prevalence of illegal drugs in the casino, including drugs being sold to South Beach staff and the belief source of said drugs. Morin is seeking an unspecified amount in damages. His legal counsel declined to comment after being contacted by CTV News. South Beach Casino and Resort CEO say a statement of defense will be filed soon, but wouldn't comment further. A multi-million-dollar donation has been made to STARS Air Ambulance.
Manitoba Blue Cross has pledged an extraordinary gift of $3 million to STARS.
STARS says this is the largest donation it's ever received in this province. To recognize the historic nature of this gift, STARS is renaming its base at Winnipeg Airport in honor of the company. It will now be known as the STARS Manitoba Blue Cross Winnipeg base, and that base is getting bigger.
This expansion, featuring new signage to proudly display our partnership with Manitoba Blue Cross, will include a state-of-the-art medical simulation lab and additional space for crew and equipment, enhancing our training, improving readiness, and ensuring we're prepared to deliver even better care to Manitobans.
STARS has been operating in Manitoba since 2009. Since then, it's completed more than 10,000 missions, providing emergency medical transportation for the critically ill and injured. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane on Notre Dame is closed between Arlington and McPhillips. On St. Mary, the westbound median lane is closed from Smith to Donald. And the westbound curb lane on Roslyn is closed between Bryce and Osborne. If you have any other traffic tips to share, text them to us, please, at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
And looking now through the Bathfitter Live Eye Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Fairly clear conditions outside this morning, which is a nice way to kick off what could be a very active few days. So this is the calm before it all begins, although yesterday afternoon was pretty nasty in and of itself with those winds increasing and those temperatures really plummeting. Now it is a little bit cooler than where we were, say, yesterday morning, but we're actually still above seasonal, so minus 20 is a normal low temperature, and all of us through southern Manitoba are at least a couple degrees above that. The closest to those seasonal temperatures is over in Brandon at minus 18, joined by Kenora, and the Pas also sitting at minus 18, but that's much further into the north. Most of us are just into those low to mid minus teens, or even balmier Morton Winkler area coming in just barely in the minus double digits. Further up into the north, though, yes, you're feeling the chill with those temperatures pushing into those low minus 30s, but the wind chill values factored in, and low to high minus 40s is what it's feeling like across the north. Here in the south, wind chill values in the mid minus 20s right now. And yes, it's clear, but that will change. We've got a system coming in, and it's going to bring some snow, likely beginning about midday, so some sunshine to enjoy through the morning hours, but that snow begins at about noontime and continues all through the afternoon and overnight. Temperatures today rising. We should be getting up to about minus 3 is our expected high today, and then those winds really increasing overnight, and that could create those blizzard-like conditions with winds in the overnight hours gusting at times to 80 kilometers per hour. So the snow will still be falling, but really whipping around, reducing the visibility, and still falling tomorrow morning with those temperatures expected to drop through the day. It will be getting a little bit cooler and staying slightly below seasonal as we continue through the rest of the week. Our weather picture today put a smile on my face, hopefully yours as well. Thanks to Neil for this, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break. We'll see you soon.
Good morning. If you're looking to spruce up your house, Your Morning Winnipeg has a contest that could help. The Winnipeg Renovation Show runs January 16th to the 18th at the RBC Convention Center, and we have a few prizes to give away. One grand prize winner will walk away with a $1,000 gift card, 4 tickets to the show with VIP seating, and a meet and greet with Mike Holmes Jr. There's also 3 prizes of $500 gift cards with tickets to be won. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Don't forget to enter the keyword home. Good luck. One of the closest members of Donald Trump's inner circle, his chief of staff, is pushing back against the magazine that published an article based on a series of interviews she gave, and in which she is quoted as saying the president has an alcoholic's personality. CTV's Joy Malvin on what else she said and how the president is responding.
The ice baby. We call it the ice baby.
She shuns the spotlight, but Susie Wiles is one of the most powerful voices in Donald Trump's White House. As chief of staff, spilling secrets to Vanity Fair, she described her boss, who doesn't drink, as having an alcoholic's personality. He operates with a view that there's nothing he can't do. And of Trump's Vice President J.D. Vance, Wiles labels him a conspiracy theorist for a decade, whose conversion to MAGA world was sort of political and driven by ambition.
I am a conspiracy theorist, but I only believe in the conspiracy theories that are true.
Of Elon Musk, Trump's billionaire on-again, off-again friend whose Doge government cuts wreaked havoc, Wiles says he's an avowed ketamine user, and he sleeps in a sleeping bag in the executive office in the daytime. Wiles admits she underestimated the Epstein scandal, how much it meant to Trump supporters demanding the truth about the late convicted sex offender. Taking a swing at Attorney General Pam Bondi, Wiles says, I think she completely whiffed on appreciating that that was the very targeted group that cared about this. She gave them binders full of nothingness. Wiles admits Trump is in the files and flew on Epstein's plane, but he's not doing anything awful, Wiles says. They were, you know, sort of young single playboys together. And Wiles contradicts the White House claim about the drug boat strikes, suggesting it's also about regime change and forcing Nicolas Maduro out. Trump wants to keep on blowing boats up until Maduro cries uncle.
After giving the magazine 11 interviews, Wiles blasted Vanity Fair, calling it a disingenuous hit piece on her, the president, and his cabinet, but she doesn't deny saying those things.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
minus 15 is what we're waking up to this morning, though it feels more like minus 25 with those winds factored in. Not quite as strong as yesterday, but still you'll notice the breeze. It's out of the south at 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 80%. The conditions this morning are actually quite clear, and you can see that looking at the satellite image right now. Heavier clouds through parts of central Manitoba, a little bit of scattered snow moving off to the east, but plenty more snow is coming in, and we'll likely see that beginning about midday. So enjoy the bit of sunshine that we might see first thing, but then with the clouds building up, that snow will be settling in, like I said, about noontime today and continuing all throughout the afternoon. Temperature-wise, it's still going to be a very mild day, headed up to a high of about minus 3. That puts us well above seasonal, but those winds, they're only going to be about 20k winds throughout the day today. But then into the evening overnight, that's when they really intensify, shifting slightly out of the north and at times gusting to 80 kilometers per hour. With snow still falling, it'll also be blowing. We could be experiencing near zero visibility, and in outlying areas even worse. Well, I don't know if you get worse than near zero visibility. Anyway, Environment Canada has a result issued blizzard warnings for this overnight hours, and then still continuing into tomorrow morning, those winds will be quite strong. They should be tapering off later into the morning or about midday, and the temperatures tomorrow getting up to about minus 15, but then falling into the low minus 20s through the afternoon. The snow will eventually taper off, but we'll likely see another round again Friday afternoon, but it will clear out for the weekend. A little more sunshine expected, and then perhaps another round of the white stuff coming our way into the start of next week.
Thank you, Terry. Police are warning families to be vigilant after a troubling incident near a Winnipeg school Tuesday afternoon. The force says it happened while a child was walking to school in the 600 block of Beverly Street around 1 o'clock. That's in the Daniel McIntyre neighborhood. Police say the child was accosted by two masked men in a white van who got out and offered the child candy and a ride. They say the child ran away and told school staff what happened. Police are now encouraging parents to talk to their kids about staying safe and to consider walking with a friend. Anyone with information or video footage is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. For the second time in 2 months, a doctor has been assaulted at Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre. A spokesperson for Shared Health confirmed the incident happened in the Adult Emergency Department Friday. They say one person was arrested by Winnipeg police with help from the hospital's safety officers. They add Shared Health is offering support to the physician. It comes nearly 6 weeks after an on-duty doctor was assaulted by a patient at HSC. 2 weeks prior to that, both a nurse and unit assistant were assaulted at the hospital's emergency department. Investigators have linked the terrorist attack targeting Australia's Jewish community to ISIS. Australia's Prime Minister says the father and son suspects were influenced by the Islamic State. CTV's Judy Trin takes a closer look at what evidence has emerged.
Before the mass shooting began, dashcam video reveals how a couple confronted one of the Bondi Beach attackers. They tried to wrestle away his gun. Boris Gurman and his wife Sophia were among the 15 people killed.
It would appear that there is evidence that this was inspired by a terrorist organisation, by ISIS.
Homemade Islamic State flags were visible in the suspect's car. Authorities also found improvised explosive devices in the vehicle. 50-year-old Sajid Akram was killed by police. His 24-year-old son was also shot and in hospital. Police say father and son traveled to the Philippines in November and are trying to find out why.
Specifically, who were they interacting with in Mindanao, which is known to be an ISIS stronghold. In fact, ISIS had tried to carve out an independent state there some years ago. Still known to be active, still doing training there. Who exactly were these two individuals from Australia interacting with there?
The Akram's home in a Sydney suburb was searched. Police said the father, Sajid, had licenses for 6 firearms. Australian media is reporting that his son, Naveed, was investigated in 2019 for ties to an ISIS cell, but deemed a non-threat. Meanwhile, a menorah lights up Sydney's Opera House as grief grows at a memorial on Bondi Beach. 2 rabbis and a Holocaust survivor are among the dead. The youngest victim was a 10-year-old girl named Matilda.
Matilda's mother called me and say, Matilda died. And I couldn't even repeat with what at the time. I say, what? What? I asked him many times. I was thinking it's bad reception. I don't hear something well. And afterward, I start screaming.
There are growing anti-Semitic incidents across the globe. A Canadian intelligence assessment done after the Bondi Beach attack found that there is no credible threat to Jewish holiday events in this country. But a violent act by lone actors is a possibility. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's premiers are set to meet virtually with the Prime Minister later this week. Mark Carney will be hosting the first ministers' meeting this Thursday. And although it's said to be virtual, CTV News has confirmed that Ontario Premier Doug Ford will be there in person. There's no word yet on the focus of the meeting, but in the past it has been to update the premiers on trade talks between Canada and the U.S. The last meeting was on November 17th. The head of Via Rail will be stepping down in the new year. President and CEO Mario Péloquin is retiring in mid-January. He took on the role in June of 2023 and was expected to carry out a 5-year term. It comes as Via Rail faces increased scrutiny, with travelers complaining of lengthy delays and high ticket prices. In the past year, Via Rail has offered more than $30 million in travel vouchers to passengers whose trains were more than an hour late. Péloquin's retirement also comes as the federal government moves ahead with plans for Canada's first high-speed rail network. Turns out corny Christmas movies are out and horror is in for holiday comfort. The Writers Guild of Canada asked 1,000 people which Canadian written holiday classics they will watch this holiday season. And the 1974 slasher film Black Christmas topped the list. It also asked which plots people may be interested in being made into a holiday movie. And a romance between our former Prime Minister and a pop star didn't rank high. Only 16.4% of Canadians approved of that storyline being made into a movie. Here's a look at what's happening in traffic now along Notre Dame Avenue. It looks like things are moving well to start off this Wednesday morning. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. Let's look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.25. The provincial average is lower at $1.16. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.14. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.04. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, Ainsley McPhail is live at the Manitoba Museum this morning. They have a lot of great deals going on right now for the holidays, as well as some really great programming. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
All right, it's a pleasant start to your morning. It's not quite as mild as yesterday. I mean, yesterday we were in the plus digits early on, but that's not the case for us today. However, we are still above seasonal. Normal lows would be around -20. A bit better than that at -15. We got winds out of the south. They're 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling and the humidity is sitting at 80%. A clear sky this morning, which means once that sun rises, of course, it's not even up until about 20 past 8, but we will enjoy a little bit of sunshine first thing this morning. It won't last. We'll see the clouds building up, and by about midday, snow beginning, and that's going to be the story for the next few days. The snow and the winds, which will be increasing into the evening overnight, and those winds will really be whipping around the snow. So this snow will just be like starting to fall throughout the afternoon today, but then overnight we could be dealing with blizzard-like conditions as that snow continues to fall but really whips around on those strong winds that could be gusting up to about 80 kilometers per hour, near zero visibility, and that will be creating those blizzard-like conditions that Environment Canada is warning of. Now, the temperatures, they are going to be on the milder side today, headed to a balmy high of -3, but then those winds increasing into the evening overnight, and we'll start to see the temperatures falling after that. Out on location, we can check in now with Ainsley McPhail and see where she is and what she's up to today. Hey, Ainsley.
Good morning, Terry. We're at the Manitoba Museum. Lots of programming on tap for the holiday season. Brandy Hayberg joins me to tell us all about it. What I like about this is you can really dress down.
Yeah, we are welcoming back our annual pajama days for winter break. December 20th, January 4th, we have so much going on, super family friendly, things in our galleries, things in our science gallery, and new planetarium shows as well.
Some hands-on stuff too.
Yeah, so in our Explore Science Zone down in our science gallery, we have what we call our Climate Hero, and it's kind of an exploration of the world's oceans and how they are our planet's lungs and kind of different things that we can do to help have a healthier ocean.
Obviously appealing to children. We all love a pajama day, though. This is something that you can bring anyone to, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's family friendly, but it's also just something fun to do, you know, when those days are cold and you don't want to be outside, just to come on down. And we have a really great opportunity because right now we're also doing the Canada Strong Pass, which kids 0 to 17 are free and young adults 18 to 24 pay half price, and that goes on till January 15th.
Oh, that's awesome. What are some of the planetarium shows? I love it in there.
So in the planetarium, we have a Perfect Little Planet, which kind of follows this little alien family as they find the best place in the galaxy for a family vacation. We have our Manitoba Skies live show, where our planetarium people kind of take you on a live tour of, you know, Winnipeg, our sky right now, and then they kind of take you to the far reaches of the galaxy to kind of see what's in our winter skies right now.
Do people go all out with the PJs?
Yeah, it's awesome. I wish that as a staff member, I would be allowed to dress up. I'm not, but it'd be amazing to like come in my fluffy onesie and my big slippers and just be super cozy when it's really cold and not nice outside.
I love that. I'm trying to think of what my PJs would be, though. It would be like a Batman onesie or like a middle school T-shirt. Yeah. Oh, no. All right. We'll see you guys at 7:27, and we're going to find Frosty.
Taking a look at the early markets, the Dow Jones gained 94 points. The Nasdaq is up 98. The S&P index is up slightly. The Canadian dollar is down a little. The Hang Seng is up 233 points. And the Nikkei added 128 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. Last Friday's water main break was more than just an inconvenience for many drivers. It caused real damage to more than a dozen vehicles. Manitoba Public Insurance tells CTV News it received 19 physical damage claims by the end of the day on Sunday. That's just 2 days after crews working at the North End wastewater treatment plant damaged the water main. It caused a torrent of water to flood Main Street near Chief Pegos Trail. MPI says claims should be made as quickly as possible and damaged vehicles should be fixed at an MPI accredited repair shop. The federal government is announcing new regulations to cut methane emissions from the oil and gas sector.
These new enhanced oil and gas regulations are designed to significantly cut methane emissions by over 304 megatons from 2028 to 2040.
The environment minister says new landfill regulations will also cut 100 megatons of emissions by 2040. The government also announced nearly $16 million in investment for 9 methane detection and measurement projects across Canada. The Canadian government says it plans to open consulates in Greenland and Alaska. The decision is intended to strengthen Canada's presence in the Arctic, which is of increasing interest to the U.S., China, and Russia. There were plans to open a consulate in Greenland, but it was postponed because of weather. No date has been set for the opening of a consulate in Anchorage. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is calling Skate Canada's decision to no longer hold events in her province disgraceful. Her post on social media says, in part, Skate Canada's refusal to hold events in Alberta because we choose to protect women and girls in sport is disgraceful. We expect they will apologize and adjust their policies once they realize they are not only compromising the fairness and safety of their athletes. Skate Canada's decision is a response to Alberta's law on transgender athletes.
This is what organizations have warned about, and really this is an incredible hit to Alberta's economy. Tourism and sport is really important in Alberta.
Alberta's law blocks transgender athletes ages 12 and up from competing in amateur sports. Skate Canada will only stop holding national and international events in Alberta. Figure skaters from the province can still compete in Skate Canada events. Parents are being told to avoid emergency departments if they can at children's hospitals in Montreal.
You have to be prepared for a long wait because, we prioritize those patients who are severely ill and injured first. You might come with the flu and leave with gastro if you're in a busy waiting room.
Montreal's 2 children's hospitals say they are both at more than 100% capacity. This is because of a rise in respiratory infections and other viruses. Parents with children who are not seriously sick are urged to consider walk-in clinics or the 811 health line. However, the hospitals will not turn away any children. They will be seen in order of priority. Wolseley School will soon have a new name. Starting next school year, it will be known as Little Blue STEM School. The school's parent council requested the name change over concerns about the negative impact the school's namesake, Lord Garnet Wolseley, had on the Métis community. He was a 19th century British military general who led the suppression of the Red River Resistance. The name change process started in 2024 and included an online vote on a new potential name. The new name, Little Blue STEM School, comes from the native prairie grass found along Omans Creek in the Wolseley neighborhood. We have smartphones, smart appliances, and now smart floors. Engineers at the University of Surrey are using floors equipped with motion tracking as part of a study. Volunteers walk across the floor to see how different setups affect balance. Results will be used to protect people from falling. Researchers say the key is to figure out the balance between softness and stability. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane on Notre Dame is closed between Arlington and McPhillips. On St. Mary, the westbound median lane is closed from Smith to Donald. And the westbound curb lane on Roslyn is closed between Bryce and Osborne. If you have any other traffic tips, please let us know.
Outside this morning, it's minus 15, feels like minus 25. We've got a breeze out of the south, 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 80%. The conditions this morning, clear. It's all going to change. We'll see the clouds building up and the snow moving in. Some parts of the province already dealing with the clouds, and off to the east of us, you can see on the satellite image the snow that's passing through, but there's more snow coming in, and that's what we've got to brace ourselves for. Not everybody is going to be seeing that. In fact, it'll remain quite clear up into the far northern part of the province, but it'll also remain quite cold. You've got wind chill values in the mid-minus 40s this morning. Your daytime high of minus 31 will keep you below seasonal. Clear conditions, yes, but you're going to need to bundle up. Other parts through the more central stretch will deal with those heavier clouds and likely a little bit of some of that precipitation. Not necessarily over here in the northwest. The sunshine, yes, through the most northern stretch, and yes, again, the cold, high minus 20s for your high temperature today. Central Manitoba is more in those mid to high minus teens. Southern Manitoba, well above seasonal, minus 10 or minus 11, pardon me, would be a normal daytime high, and many of us are now today going to be pushing up into those minus single digits, low minus single digits through much of the southeast today. But while it's clear this morning, the clouds will build, the snow will begin about midday, and once that snow starts, it's going to continue overnight and right into tomorrow morning. Along with the snow will come the winds, more so into the evening overnight. Today's winds will remain moderate, but tonight those winds could be gusting to about 80 kilometers per hour, and Environment Canada is warning of blizzard conditions in the overnight hours with near zero visibility from that blowing snow. Temperatures also throughout the day tomorrow will be dropping off, and then we're in for below seasonal temperatures to last through the weekend and into next week.
Thank you, Terry. Some immigration experts are warning Canadians to avoid traveling to the United States unless they have to. It comes as data from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement shows more Canadians are being detained due to changes to U.S. immigration policies. CTV's Heather Wright explains.
This is North America's busiest border crossing, the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Windsor and Detroit. It's where Greg Williams was detained by U.S. Border Patrol last month as he tried to enter the United States with his wife and dad.
And then it was turn the car off, hands on the dash, and within seconds there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
Williams says he was handcuffed and taken into a small room inside the nearby building. He was photographed and fingerprinted before ever knowing why he was being detained.
I wasn't worrying about being sent to some, Ecuadorian supermax, which is very much white privilege of me, that it's like, I don't have to worry about those things, but that's also like, nobody should.
Turns out there's another Greg Williams with some sort of a record that prompted the detention of this Greg Williams, an Ontario musician.
This happened because I have the same name, and that's crazy.
Williams was released after a couple of hours, but his story highlights the growing number of Canadians being caught up in the immigration crackdown underway south of the border. More than 200 Canadians have spent time in ICE custody at some point since January, compared with 137 detained in 2024. Records show at least 6 children were among those detained. While a handful of Canadians had felony convictions or other criminal records, the vast majority were picked up for visa violations or less serious infractions, which experts say marks a major shift in policy.
For the most part, from what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada, but are being detained more frequently. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Even though trips to the U.S. are down, travel companies say the number of Canadians packing their bags for vacation has actually increased. So where are they going? CTV's Pat Foran finds out.
When it comes to Canadians choosing to travel to U.S. destinations, Flight Centre says its bookings were down substantially in 2025, and it expects that to continue into next year.
We're down close to 40% year over year in travel into the U.S.
G Adventures, a company that specializes in small group adventure travel, has noticed the same trend.
While our bookings in the United States are down, it doesn't mean that Canadians are traveling less. They're simply choosing different destinations.
So where are Canadians going? According to Flight Centre, there has been a huge increase in interest to travel to Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia, Japan, Colombia, and Switzerland. Many people are looking for good value and are willing to travel further and stay longer.
We've seen an incredible increase to somewhere like Japan, where their dollar does stretch a bit further. Places like Australia, the Canadian dollar is stronger than the Australian dollar. So Canadians, once they get there, they feel that they can really stretch their dollar.
G Adventure says its top destinations for next year include Peru, Morocco, Costa Rica, Thailand, and Japan. It's also finding travelers want to vacation when it's less crowded.
People are trying to avoid the kind of over tourism. So they're choosing to travel during quieter times, so it's not quite as busy. And they also save some money doing that as well.
And more people are also choosing to go on trips by themselves.
We're really popular with solo travelers. Female solo travelers are our largest demographic.
Both companies say most travel spots are filled for the upcoming holiday period, but many people are booking fun in the sun trips for January, February, and March. Larger destination vacations are being booked now for next summer. Pat Foran, CTV News.
You might want to take a vacation soon, as we're getting tons of snow over the next 24 hours. This is what it looks like on St. Mary's Road. Looks like it's moving well. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, December 17th. Today, winter weather woes, how Manitobans are prepping for an impending blizzard. Plus, holiday helpers, how you can lend a helping hand to the Christmas cheerboard. And a generous gift. Who just made a major donation to Stars Air Ambulance? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is 7 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. The Christmas Cheerboard has just put out a plea for some help. They have about 5,000 Christmas hampers right now that need to be delivered, but they need drivers. So if you have some spare time, or if you have a vehicle, they say don't even bother calling. Just show up there and do what you can do. They'll give you the hampers, and then you could deliver them. This is their last week before crunch time, so they have a lot going on.
Push is on, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the weather might be a factor for many drivers over the next 24 hours.
I don't doubt that it will be, especially once we're getting into the evening overnight. That's when things will really pick up and get a little bit worse. This morning, though, is gorgeous and clear. So your commute in will be no problem whatsoever. And honestly, I think your commute home will be fine as well. It's more so overnight. So tomorrow morning could be a little bit dicier after those conditions continue to worsen in the overnight hours. Right now, I mentioned a clear and easy start to your day. We're sitting at minus 15, though it feels like minus 25 with a south wind at 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 80%. So the snow hasn't started yet. Not only that, it's actually still quite clear out there. We are starting to see the clouds moving in, though, and with those clouds will come the snow. There's a little bit of snow leaving. That's off to the east of us, but the next round will be significantly more than what we've seen at this point. Central Manitoba, you've got the heavier clouds for now. As I mentioned, we'll see them building up here in the south. For northern Manitoba, you've got a clear, beautiful day ahead, but you've got to bundle up. Beautiful and bright, but it's going to be cold, and I'm talking like minus 30 cold, so throw those extra layers on and keep moving. You don't want to be outside just kind of standing around. That's when you'll feel it the most. Here in the south is where all of the activity will be today. Beginning about noontime, the snow begins, and that'll then continue through the afternoon. It's into the overnight hours that the winds really increase, and that's what's going to cause those blizzard-like conditions that Environment Canada is warning of. With near zero visibility, there will be blowing snow, drifting snow, and that'll take us right into tomorrow morning. Now, eventually, snow tapers off and even the winds start to ease. So later into the day, Thursday, things will look a little bit better, but the temperatures throughout Thursday could be dropping off. Now, there's another round of snow, and that's going to be moving in on Friday ahead of a brighter weekend. We'll get the sunshine back again, but today is still going to be a mild day, well above seasonal. Will rise to about -3, and then those conditions will be worsening in the overnight hours. Oh, our art today, so fitting for this season with the snow expected. We got a couple of snowmen here. Thanks to Nora, 7 years old, and keep the art coming. Send your picture to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
It's the calm before the storm. Southern Manitoba is expecting a winter walloping today. CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows us how people here have been preparing.
I thought I was going to wash my truck and have a nice, relaxing Wednesday.
Winnipeg resident Joe Fedora says he changed his plans after warnings Tuesday that a blizzard may be coming, and he wants the main routes to be plowed, especially Main Street, where a water main broke last week.
I'm hoping maybe they get the Main Street a little bit straightened out a little bit better, because it's down to one lane each way, and with a blizzard, it's not going to be very good going for people that have to work.
Fedora stopped into Pollock's Hardware to find some light bulbs. General Manager Caitlin Peters says she's seen an uptick in customers since the storm warning was announced.
It took a while for everything to freeze, and so in classic Winnipeg fashion, the blizzard's coming out of nowhere, it seems. It tends to be that as soon as a blizzard comes, there's either the panic shoppers right before, and then it kind of tapers off because people don't want to go out in the storm.
On Tuesday afternoon, Environment Canada replaced a flash freeze warning with a winter storm watch with the potential for hazardous winter conditions. Michael Cantor, manager of street maintenance for the city of Winnipeg, says the city has been ready for a month and a half now for significant snow. Cantor says it's a wait-and-see situation.
We'll see what type of amount of snow we're going to get tomorrow and overnight between Wednesday and Thursday, and I would expect us to start plowing overnight and Thursday morning.
Cantor says many streets have already been salted, but sanding will begin Tuesday evening. Earlier in the day, temperatures rose to 5 degrees. Now, with temperatures dropping well below zero, Nicholas Burns says he believes climate change is creating chaos with Winnipeg weather.
They call it whiplash weather, or weather extremes, yo-yo weather, and this is, I guess, what we've got to get used to now.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The report from Environment Canada says we can expect between 10 to 20 centimeters of snow starting today, with a significant snowfall likely to impact south central Manitoba. The former head of security at South Beach Casino and Resort has launched a wrongful dismissal lawsuit. Devin Morin alleges he was fired over concerns he raised about the flow of illegal drugs into the facility. In his lawsuit, Morin says he was told in July he was losing his job after a workplace harassment complaint. However, the suit denies the allegation and says Morin was never told what alleged incident or incidents the harassment complaint referred to, saying he was not given a chance to respond. Instead, the court filing claims Morin was fired after, quote, raising concerns with management about the increased prevalence of illegal drugs in the casino, including drugs being sold to South Beach staff and the belief source of said drugs. Morin is seeking an unspecified amount in damages. His legal counsel declined to comment after being contacted by CTV News. South Beach Casino and Resort CEO say a statement of defense will be filed soon, but wouldn't comment any further. With Christmas just days away, the Christmas Cheer Board is putting out a call for help to make sure no family is left behind. More than 5,000 Christmas hampers are still waiting to be delivered to families across Winnipeg. Anyone with a vehicle and a little time can pitch in by heading to the Cheer Board warehouse at 133 Paramount Road near Inkster and Keewatin. There's no need to sign up. Volunteers can simply show up and will be sent out with 3 to 5 hampers to deliver. The warehouse is open weekdays from 9 to 8 and weekends from 9 to 4. The Christmas Cheer Board says every delivery helps spread some holiday cheer to those who need it most. It's being called an historic first south of the border. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved the first treatment for low sex drive in postmenopausal women. The drug is called Addyi and is now approved for women up to age 65 who have gone through menopause and report stress from low libido. Up until now, the once-a-day pill was only for premenopausal women. The drug maker warns the pill shouldn't be taken with alcohol as it can lead to low blood pressure and fainting. Expected poor driving conditions in southern Manitoba later today are prompting schedule changes for some school divisions. The Rolling River School Division has closed all its schools today. And in the DSFM, school buses are canceled today for École Saint-Lazare and École Jour de Plaine in Laurier. A multi-million-dollar donation has been made to STARS Air Ambulance.
Manitoba Blue Cross has pledged an extraordinary gift of $3 million to STARS.
STARS says this is the largest donation it's ever received in this province. To recognize the historic nature of the gift, STARS is renaming its base at Winnipeg Airport in honor of the company. It will now be known as the STARS Manitoba Blue Cross Winnipeg base, and that base is getting bigger.
This expansion, featuring new signage to proudly display our partnership with Manitoba Blue Cross, will include a state-of-the-art medical simulation lab and additional space for crew and equipment, enhancing our training, improving readiness, and ensuring we're prepared to deliver even better care to Manitobans.
STARS has been operating in Manitoba since 2009. Since then, it's completed more than 10,000 missions, providing emergency medical transportation for the critically ill and injured. Here's a look at what's going on now on the Provencher Bridge. Things are moving well, starting off, and no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see problems out there, please let us know.
President Donald Trump has ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers going into and leaving Venezuela, ratcheting up pressure on Caracas as the U.S. builds up its military presence in the region. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. That's what Trump wrote on social media on Tuesday. The move boosted oil and metals prices along with stocks in Europe. Ottawa and Ontario are set to sign a deal Thursday that will reduce the regulatory burden on large projects, including the road to the Ring of Fire, according to the Canadian press. Provincial and federal government sources, who are not allowed to speak publicly, say Ottawa has agreed to eliminate any repetitive work on its impact assessments on large projects. A source in the Premier's office, who's not allowed to speak publicly about the yet-to-be-announced deal, says the changes will dramatically speed up big projects across the province, including roads, highways, and mines. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the Manitoba Museum. It's a great place to visit any time of year, but during the holidays, there's a lot going on there. Ainsley, good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. And for people going, what the heck am I going to do with my kids during that stretch? Look, there's tons to see, tons to do at the Manitoba Museum, including programming, the planetarium shows, Find Frosty, and even pajama days. Who doesn't like to keep their pajamas on and come to the Manitoba Museum? Now, and how many opportunities are you going to get to stand next to a 17th century ship, of course? You can explore the non-such, but the cool thing is this time of year is the only time you're going to have the opportunity to do it from the lower area. So some extra access for you as well. So coming up at 7:27, we're going to be learning about Finding Frosty, among all the other programming that I highlighted too.
Okay, I love the non-such. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's a chilly start, but at least it's not snowing.
Not yet, but it's only a matter of time. Probably about noontime is when we'll see the beginnings, the first few flakes falling. And then once it starts, wait for it, it's going to be piling up. It's going to be whipping around. You've got some shoveling to do, although even that, I mean, with the winds kicking that snow around, the efforts of your shoveling, you could wake up tomorrow and never think that you even moved a flake of snow, and that's because those winds into the evening overnight are going to get intense. They're not that way now, just a 21k wind out of the south, making our minus 15. We feel more like minus 25. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 80%. So it's actually quite clear out here right now, and we'll likely enjoy some sunshine through the morning hours, but the clouds are already starting to get closer, and with those clouds will come the snow. So like I said, about midday the flurries begin, and we'll get a few centimeters through the afternoon, but it's going to continue to fall overnight, and that's when the winds will be shifting slightly and intensifying. Up to 80k wind gusts are expected throughout the overnight hours, kicking around that snow, creating near zero visibility conditions, and as a result, Environment Canada has issued blizzard warnings for the overnight hours continuing into tomorrow morning. Now eventually tomorrow, later into the morning, those winds will start to ease and the snow will even taper off, but tomorrow the temperatures throughout the day will start to fall. Today though, they'll be rising. We're in for a mild day still. Yes, it's going to get snowy this afternoon, but those above seasonal temperatures will take us to a high of -3.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. With much of Manitoba in the path of a winter storm that's set to hit later today, we're asking, how do you prepare for bad winter weather? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way, please. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back. Good morning. The Winnipeg police officer who shot and killed a man who stabbed an officer in the throat will not face charges. Manitoba's police watchdog has closed its investigation into the incident more than a year after the shooting. It all happened at this bus shelter near the Unicity Shopping Centre on November 24th of last year. The IIU says the officers involved declined to be interviewed for the investigation, but gave them notes and a statement. Investigators also spoke with 2 officers and 6 civilians and watched 3 different videos of the incident, including a 20-second video recorded by a civilian. In that video, the 2 officers can be seen with their guns pointed at a man standing in the bus shelter. The IIU said the officers can be heard telling the man to put it down and drop it before the man starts moving towards the officers. There were multiple gunshots fired and he dropped to the ground. He was taken to hospital where he died of his injuries. Autopsy reports confirmed the man died of multiple gunshot wounds and found he had methamphetamine in his blood at the time. The IIU's director says the shooting was a tragic incident. However, officers didn't commit a criminal offense. Winnipeg police have stopped hundreds of vehicles as part of its annual holiday check stop program, and officers are finding plenty of suspected impaired drivers. According to the latest figures from the police service, between December 8th and 14th, officers stopped 547 vehicles. 22 drivers were found to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Of those, 1 driver failed a drug screening test, and 5 drivers failed tests for alcohol, and 16 warnings were given out. The force is reminding drivers, if you plan to drink or consume cannabis, don't drive. Instead, choose a safe alternative such as a taxi, transit, or designated driver. The holiday check stops will continue throughout this month and into early January. The new addition to the University of Alberta Hospital was designed as an escape from the hospital environment.
Step out and you get to be in an environment that really does brings you so close to nature and allows you to be in a very light and bright area.
The 4th floor atrium was inspired by Edmonton's River Valley, as in its goal is to bring the outdoors indoors. The hospital raised almost $3 million for the project. $1 million was donated by retired CEO Court Carruthers. Taking a look now at the current traffic situation around Confusion Corner. Things have really picked up over here, as you could see, but overall moving quite well. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see problems out there, let us know, please.
Traffic is brought to you by the Children's Rehabilitation Foundation.
Time now for some entertainment news. Next summer's Winnipeg International Jazz Festival is paying tribute to some of the biggest names in the genre. Jazz Winnipeg has just announced the first 2 headliners for the upcoming festival, starting with Ensemble MEB, formerly known as the Miles Electric Band. They'll be honoring Miles Davis, who would have turned 100 years old next year. You can also expect to see the Jason Marsalis Quartet. The Jazz Festival runs June 16th to the 21st. Tickets for the first 2 shows are already available online. Just head to jazzwinnipeg.com. For a while, actor Bob Odenkirk was an honorary Manitoban. He shot the action movie Nobody 2 here. Then he quickly shot another movie called Normal.
Life in Normal is quiet, peaceful, predictable. Until it isn't.
Why are they shooting at you?
Bob Odenkirk is a provisional sheriff brought into police a small Minnesota town. He uncovers a major conspiracy and learns the town is far from normal. The movie co-stars Henry Winkler and Lena Headey. It's set to hit theaters in April. The first Country Thunder was a success, and now organizers have announced the headliners for year 2. And it includes some big names, including Kane Brown.
I mean, put some miles on it.
Country Thunder 2026 will be here in Winnipeg on Friday, July the 3rd. Kane Brown will be joined on stage at Princess Auto Stadium by Bailey Zimmerman, Co Wetzel, and Robin Ottolini. Tickets for the show went on sale Tuesday for the Bombers, Winnipeg Jets, and Manitoba Moose season ticket holders. They'll be available for everyone else Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. Your Wednesday night lineup starts with The Floor at 7 and 8, Catch Password at 9, and Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage wraps things up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
A clear start to your Wednesday as we look now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Yeah, everything's moving fine out on the streets right now. That could all change. We're likely to see the conditions deteriorating a bit, especially through the overnight. I was going to say this afternoon, but this afternoon is just going to be the beginnings of it. I don't think we're going to notice those deteriorating conditions really until those winds start to increase overnight. That's when things will get nasty. Right now this morning it is quite clear. Temperature wise, we're above seasonal still. Minus 21 would be a normal low. Most of us are in those mid minus teens, some high minus teens. Moving up into northern Manitoba where it's clear this morning, it is considerably colder, and your temperatures themselves are in the minus 30s, but your wind chill values pushing you into the minus 40s this morning. So northern Manitoba definitely needs to bundle up. You're going to deal with the cold throughout the day today. We're actually in for well above seasonal temperatures. The winds this morning do add a little bit of a bite, but the mercury will be on the rise, and it's going to get quite mild today, but it's also going to get quite snowy. I know we're not seeing it just yet, but this system is still off to the west, and all of that will be closing in on us, with that snow likely beginning about midday and then continuing through the afternoon. Minus 13 this morning as kids get settled into the classroom, minus 7 and up to minus 4 by the time they're coming home. So you can see the mercury on the rise. It will be mild, but that snow beginning will continue through the afternoon, and then overnight the snow continues, but the winds increase and could at times be gusting to about 80 kilometers per hour. So Environment Canada is warning of blizzard-like conditions with the falling snow, the blowing snow, and near zero visibility. So that'll be tonight, then throughout the day tomorrow. Blizzard conditions lasting through the morning hours. It clears out into the afternoon, but those temperatures will be dropping off and then remaining below seasonal throughout the rest of the week, with yet another round of snow to come on Friday afternoon. And our weather picture today sure put me in a good mood this morning. This little guy looks so adorable. What a great way to capture it, putting food in the little sleigh. Thanks to Neil for the photo. Keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
I love that. Thanks, Terry. This Vancouver club is more well known for what's outside than in.
It's 75 that we went through, and I think we weeded out maybe 25 of them, and we kind of just picked our best ones, our personal favorites.
The Penthouse Club is famous for posting funny messages on its marquee. It all started about 10 years ago with a reference to the popularity of Pokemon Go. Since then, posts have poked fun at other top headlines of the moment. The club is now the subject of a new book. It's a collection of the top marquee messages over the years. An 87-year-old is giving back to his community in a unique way. He finds discarded bicycles, and as CTV's Adam Sawatsky shows you, he makes them good as new for Christmas.
This is
the handiest one I've got.
Although Dennis Baker has always been good with his hands,
I like working with tools.
He didn't realize how much good he could do with them.
I love doing it.
Until after a train door cut his finger off.
The door closed and the latch caught my finger, and just like that, it was gone.
But rather than complain about it, Dennis proved to be the sort of person who makes comedy out of it. Although he wasn't laughing when Dennis started noticing broken bikes being discarded around the neighborhood.
I was mad.
But after confirming they were left behind by families who'd moved away, Dennis began collecting them.
I didn't know a bicycle from a motorcycle.
To see if he could figure out how to fix them.
But through trial and error, I learned, and now there's not many things I can't repair on a bicycle.
That first year, Dennis refurbished 6 bikes for fun.
I may as well do something with them, so I did.
So he donated them to the executive director of the Christmas Bureau, Chris Bayless.
I was amazed.
Well, Dennis was so inspired, he kept donating more and more each year.
It felt great because I knew I was doing something good for someone else.
Now, the 87-year-old spends 6 hours a day, every day, finding and refurbishing more than 130 bikes a year.
Dennis Baker's a legend. In spite of sometimes ill health and all the other issues that come with aging and being a busy person, he just finds time to do it every year.
And although Dennis has never seen the smiles inspired by the more than 1,000 bikes he's gifted over the years, he's grateful to hear they're big.
You thought I'd given him a brand new Cadillac. He was just over the moon, apparently thrilled with his bicycle. And that's what it's all about.
It's about choosing to make bad things better, Dennis says. And when it comes to helping others, make them the best. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
There's a lot of holiday programming happening at the Manitoba Museum for the whole family, including on the non-such. Stay with us for more details. Let's go back now to the Manitoba Museum where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. You're on the non-such. It's such a great place to visit. Ainsley, good morning.
Good morning. I'm on it too, Rochelle. This is my very first time. What a milestone. I can see it. I can smell it. It's great. And there's some special access for you guys at home as well. Aaron Bulow joins us to tell us all about it. Private tours in general, it feels really private and intimate because you're getting on a part of the ship that people don't usually get access to.
Yeah, it's our annual tradition where people can finally get to go into the non-such hold, which is typically closed. And when they're down there, they get to find out about what it was like for the life of sailors back in 1668 when they sailed from England to the Hudson Bay in the trip that helped establish the Hudson Bay Company.
What do people really like about this?
Well, I mean, it's always fun to get to do something that's normally off limits. It's also very atmospheric down there, and you get to see a lot of components of the ship that are normally not on view.
I was looking up that time period going, you know, what was it like? And obviously no GPS, relying on the stars and math. How did they possibly do it? How did they possibly do it? When we're talking about extra activities during the holiday season, you guys are bringing out Frosty.
Yeah, so I have one of our Frosties here. So Frosty, our little snow pals, are going to be hidden throughout the museum galleries in very fun spots. So we really encourage people to collect one of the scavenger hunts that they can get at the front of the museum and see if they can find all the Frosties, and then they'll be filling out clues as they go to solve a riddle, and they can enter their finished scavenger hunt to potentially win a prize package.
And there's so much to see at the museum. Will this allow people to see things they wouldn't usually?
Yes, well, one of the fun things about the scavenger hunts is there's really so much on display. It's hard to take it all in one visit, and so it kind of guides your attention towards specific areas that you might not have noticed before.
Thank you so much. And free, you guys, 0 to 17 free with the Canada Strong Pass, or up to 18 to 24, half off until the 15th.
Oh, that's a good reason to go. All right, thank you, Ainsley. Bringing in Terry now. It's going to be one of those days tomorrow where I think a lot of kids will not have school.
I think the kids will be outside shoveling. Put them to work. If you don't have to go to school, you got to clear this sidewalk. Honestly, yes, we are expecting to see some snow, and it will likely be piling up. Ooh, that's a cool sky, but what do they say? Red sky in morning. Sailors take warning. we have no sailors in a landlocked province, but that's not true. We've got a giant lake. But my point is, it's not so much about the sailors, it's about you and what your next few days will look like, and it might not be ideal. Minus 14 right now, minus 24 with the winds that are out of the south, 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 82%. That sky really is something. We're going to see, though, the clearer conditions clouding over. The clouds are already starting to move in through southwestern Manitoba. Over in Saskatchewan right now, you can see the beginnings of the precipitation. Mixed precipitation is looking mild enough. Now, off to the east, there's a little bit leaving, but that's just making way for what's to come. And what is to come? Plenty of snow and some stronger winds as well. Not necessarily today. Today will just be the beginnings of it. And I think today might actually seem quite pleasant as that snow begins about midday and continues through the afternoon. We'll rise to a high of about minus 3 with those east winds that'll be moderate. Then tonight, those winds increasing. And this is where things will really start to get nasty because the snow will continue to fall. But these winds at times gusting to 80 kilometers per hour, kicking around all of that snow, will drop down to minus 18. Tomorrow rising to about minus 15, but those blizzard conditions lasting into the morning hours. By later into the day, the winds will ease, the sky begins to clear, and this minus 15 starts to tank a little bit, so the temperatures dropping through the day. And then a little bit clearer for the coming weekend, but the temperatures remaining below seasonal.
Police are warning families to be vigilant after a troubling incident near a Winnipeg school Tuesday afternoon. The force says it happened while a child was walking to school in the 600 block of Beverly Street around 1 o'clock. That's in the Daniel McIntyre neighborhood. Police say the child was accosted by 2 masked men in a white van who got out and offered the child candy and a ride. They say the child ran away and told school staff what happened. Police are now encouraging parents to talk to their kids about staying safe and to consider walking with a friend. Anyone with information or video footage is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. For the second time in 2 months, a doctor has been assaulted at Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre. A spokesperson for Shared Health confirmed the incident happened in the Adult Emergency Department Friday. They say one person was arrested by Winnipeg police with help from the hospital safety officers. They add Shared Health is offering support to the physician. It comes nearly 6 weeks after an on-duty doctor was assaulted by a patient at HSC. 2 weeks prior to that, both a nurse and unit assistant were assaulted at the hospital's emergency department. Charges have now been laid against the surviving suspect in Sunday's mass shooting at Bondi Beach. This is happening as Australia's New South Wales Parliament is recalled to address tougher gun laws.
On the 22nd and 23rd of December, the government will call back the New South Wales Parliament to deal with urgent legislation that we believe is required pre-Christmas to keep the community safe and ensure there's unambiguous laws in place when it comes to public safety.
One of the reforms up for debate is the proposed limit on the number of firearms a licensed person can own. We know one of the 2 shooters accused of killing 15 people had his firearms license and he legally owned 6 guns. As for the surviving suspect, the 24-year-old was charged after waking up from a coma at a Sydney hospital. The charges include 15 counts of murder, 40 counts of causing harm with intent to murder, along with a terror charge. Authorities say the attack was inspired by the Islamic State group.
Boris attacked one of these terrorists as he got out of the car, and that caused Mr. and Mrs. Gurman, who've been married for 60 years, to lose their life.
More stories of heroism are emerging. A couple and another man were killed after physically confronting the attackers on Sunday. They are also being remembered for their heroic efforts. The couple in their 60s were filmed tackling one of the 2 gunmen as he exited his car. They've been identified as Boris and Sophia Gurman. Reuven Morrison was also identified as a victim. He threw bricks trying to stop the shooters before being killed. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is calling them Australian heroes.
Ellie lived and breathed this idea. We can never ever allow them not only to succeed, but any time that they try something, will become greater and stronger.
Funerals for some of the victims have already been held, including one for Rabbi Eli Schlanger. The rabbi was one of the 15 people killed in the massacre that targeted Jewish families celebrating the first night of Hanukkah. Large crowds paid their respects at the Shabbat of Bondi in Sydney. Rabbi Schlanger was the one who organized the Hanukkah by the Sea event at Bondi Beach. He was the father of 5, whose youngest son is only 2 months old.
She was in shock. She was in shock. She was telling me that it's hard to breathe, and I was holding her, and I was like, "Calm down, please, please, please." I was trying to pull her out.
The parents of the youngest victim visited the memorial site, recalling the day, what happened that day. 10-year-old Matilda was playing with animals at a petting zoo when she was shot. The family moved to Australia from Ukraine. Matilda was their firstborn in the country. Matilda's funeral will take place on Thursday. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane on Notre Dame is closed between Arlington and McPhillips. On St. Mary, the westbound median lane is closed from Smith to Donald. And the westbound curb lane on Roslyn is closed between Bryce and Osborne. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us. Let's take a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.25. The provincial average is lower at $1.16. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.14, and the lowest price in the city is $1.04. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
This is what it looks like outside. It's a gorgeous sky. We're sitting at -14 with the wind chill. It feels like -24. More Your Morning Winnipeg after this break.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
An orange sky this morning. -14 is where that temperature sits. Feels, though, like -24 with winds out of the south 26 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 82%. And yeah, that's a wild looking sky. Sun will be up at about 21 past 8 this morning. But that sky is just indicative of the stormy weather that we have ahead of us. Here you can see on the satellite image the clouds beginning to move in. Otherwise, it's been quite clear this morning, but that's all about to change. With these clouds will come the snow, and that snow will be somewhat significant. Actually, it's not even so much the snow. And don't get me wrong, we'll see plenty of the white stuff, but it's more so the winds that are going to make for the nastiest conditions. Now, northern Manitoba, none of this is going to be affecting you. What will be affecting you will be some pretty frigid temperatures. Up into the most northern part of the province, high 20s, low 30s, those will be your expected daytime highs. Sure, the conditions will be a little bit clearer, plenty of sunshine is expected, but you're going to need all of those layers on. Not only are you dealing with highs that'll take you into the high -20s, low -30s, but this morning you're dealing with wind chill values in the mid to high -40s. So that's dangerously cold across northern Manitoba, though the conditions are quite clear. Here through central and southern Manitoba, this is where the storm will be a little more active. Clouds are already beginning to build up, and we're likely to see that snow. Here in the southwest, it might begin a little bit sooner. In the southeastern part of the province, about midday is when the first few flakes will start to fly. Now, taking a look at the temperatures, you would think it's going to be quite pleasant. And in fact, it's not necessarily about today that we're talking about how nasty things will get, because today, yes, rising up into those low single digits, it's tonight that the winds will be increasing, temperatures start to drop, and the snow continues to pile up. It's not just going to be piling up, but with these winds expected overnight to gust to about 80 kilometers per hour, that'll create near zero visibility conditions, and Environment Canada is warning of some blizzard-like conditions both overnight and lingering into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, the sky will clear, but the temperatures will be dropping off even more, and then we're looking to be slightly below seasonal all throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend, though we should be getting a little bit more sunshine this weekend after another round of snow passes through on Friday.
Thank you, Terry. There's nothing like wearing pajamas when watching a movie, and when you go to the planetarium, they are having pajama days. Good morning, Ainsley.
Rochelle, and you know what? You can wear your pajamas, and there's 100% visibility here at the planetarium. You can enjoy the night sky from the nice heat of the Manitoba Museum. Scott Young is joining me now to tell us all about it. Great for families. Tell us about some of these shows.
Yeah, well, we've got our special winter show, which is called The Longest Night, and it's about cold, but you don't have to be in the cold to experience it. It's a great sort of fairy tale of why it's so dark this time of the year and how that relates to things in the sky and so on. And we also have a great show, Perfect Little Planet, which is all about exploring the planets that are out there from the point of view of a family that's visiting an alien family that's visiting, looking for a good vacation spot, which we can all relate to in wintertime. And we also have our classic Manitoba skies, which is kind of the guided nature walk through the night sky. You see the constellations and the planets that are up, Jupiter's up, Saturn's up, all these things that you can actually go out and see on yourself in the sky just from your backyard.
And I love that you ended it with the Manitoba one, because I really want to touch on our local night skies. We must have the most beautiful province in the world.
You know, this is a great place to observe the sky. It can get cold when it's clear in, you know, December and January, but those clear skies and those long winter nights bring a beautiful chance to see the stars. We just had the Geminid meteor shower last weekend. Was just brilliant. Lots of shooting stars all night long. And you know, we've been having lots of northern lights recently, which is one of those things you can never exactly plan for. They might come out, they might not, but that's part of the mystery of the night sky.
And you're going to just maybe roll your eyes. You never would, you're a lovely person, but I saw the Northern Lights for the very first time this year, and everything that it was made up to be. When can people catch these shows?
The shows are running throughout the day during Pajama Day, and you can basically see them from our whole opening hour, 10 to 4. The show times are all on the website, and it's the same every day throughout the holiday.
Thank you so much. So stay inside and enjoy the planetarium. Great advice. Put your pajamas on, too.
I like that idea. Thank you, Ainsley. Team Canada will look to win the World Junior Hockey Championships on American soil starting this Boxing Day. After 2 straight quarterfinal exits, the pressure is on. And as CTV's Glenn Campbell reports, a young star says he's ready to lead the charge.
Here's a feed by the cross.
Team Canada always has high expectations at the World Junior Hockey Championship, but they've been eliminated in the quarterfinals the last 2 years. Last year, Czechia got the better of Canada in the quarters.
Canada should never finish 5th, and you know, I think coming into this year, there's a lot of eyes on us to do well, and I think that's our motivation. Do it for the country. We let them down a few times now, and we owe it to them.
McKenna is Canada's youngest forward and has already faced plenty of adversity this season. He was projected to be the first overall pick at this year's NHL draft, but he struggled at times adjusting to college hockey. But he looks like a man on a mission heading into the World Juniors.
Yeah, I'm confident going in the tournament. You know, there's a lot of chatter on my year and stuff, but you know, I think it's a growth year for me. You know, playing against harder guys. You know, I could have stayed in the dub and, you know, put up a bunch of points, but I wanted to challenge myself this year, and I've been getting challenged.
Another player with something to prove is Flames defenseman Zane Parekh. He was a late cut from last year's team, but no doubt he'll suit up for Team Canada this time around. Parekh says it'll be different having London Knights coach Dale Hunter behind the bench.
Yeah, I wanted to joke with him and ask him if I'm on the dark side now. So it's nice. I think he's a really knowledgeable guy. I mean, he played in the NHL, and he's obviously coached at really high levels, and he wins every year, it seems like.
You know, he's a real good player. He sees the ice so well, and every time he touches the puck, something dangerous is going to happen.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 7th birthday, Scarlett, with love from your family. Happy 4th birthday, Memphis. Love grand-mère, grandpapa, papa, and all your family and friends. Happy 33rd birthday, Cassandra, with love from Mom, Dad, and Hayden. Happy 12th birthday, Jackson. Love Mom, Dad, Shanoa, Bree, Sienna, and Silas. And a happy 89th birthday to Jean, with lots of love from your children and grandchildren. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff. And just a reminder that CTV Your Morning Winnipeg is taking a break all next week, but please keep sending us your milestones, and we will resume airing them when CTV Your Morning returns on Monday, December 29th.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
in for another mild day today, nowhere near as mild as yesterday when we kicked things off in the plus digits. But then remember, those temperatures tanked through the afternoon. Well, today they're going to be on the rise throughout, headed up to -3. That puts us well above a seasonal high of -11. Now, this time last year, we got to -8.7, so slightly above seasonal. But it was all the way back in 1890 that we broke the record at 7.2 degrees. Do not expect record-breaking temperatures. I mean, like I said, yesterday actually probably was with those plus digits for many places, but today is going to be a totally different story as we're now expecting some winter storm conditions. Right now it's still on the clearer side, just beginning to see the clouds building up, but those clouds will bring some snow and plenty of it throughout the day today. -14 is where we're sitting right now. Feels like -24 with those winds, which are at the moment out of the south, 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 82%. So the clouds and then the snow, and throughout the day today, pleasant enough. I mean, I mentioned the above seasonal temperatures getting up to about -3, and just moderate winds through the afternoon today as that snow begins to fall. But tonight, as the snow continues to fall, that's when those winds will be shifting out of the north, gusting to 80 kilometers per hour at times. And that is going to create those blizzard-like conditions that Environment Canada is warning of. Near zero visibility as the falling snow, the blowing snow will create not just poor visibility, but drifting and treacherous travel-like conditions. So something to keep in mind, because that'll continue into tomorrow morning, eventually tapering off by later in the day tomorrow. We might even see the sky clearing, but these mild temperatures that we'll experience today will only fall throughout the afternoon tomorrow and then remaining below seasonal as we're looking into the coming weekend.
Thank you, Terry. A basic yet eye-catching Christmas display has been set up in North Edmonton. One large red ornament hanging from a roadside tree. As CTV's Matt Woodman explains, it's a nod to a classic Christmas movie and a tribute to family.
When it comes to Christmas decorating, over-the-top displays like Clark Griswold's usually get all the accolades. For the past 2 years, though, this simple yet significant ornament hanging from a tree on 58th Street is getting some attention of its own.
I like that it's quite festive. It definitely brings a sense of cheer to the neighborhood. I don't know who puts it up at all. It just shows up.
You know, everybody seems to love it.
Sean Kearns is the one who hangs the solo sphere.
I like to put it up at night so it's a surprise in the morning when people see it.
He does it in late November before his parents visit from Nova Scotia.
And I always like to put it up so Mom can see it. Growing up, my mom's favorite Christmas holiday movie was Charlie Brown Christmas.
Kearns says this tree has the perfect lean to replicate one of the movie's most iconic scenes.
I've killed it. I didn't pull it down or anything. This is normally what the tree looks like. It's not under any stress by the ornament.
Getting it up there takes some patience and lasso-like skills.
You just kind of wing it around until you let her go and it flies up and over the top. It took me, a half dozen tries to get it where it is.
While last year's big red ball disappeared after a few days, this one appears to be anchored firmly in place.
Hopefully the Grinch doesn't find this one.
Kearns doesn't plan to go over the top or channel Chevy Chase's character anytime soon.
It doesn't need anything else, unless I could get a big blue blanket to go around the bottom, of course.
Maybe it just needs a little love.
A classic Christmas connection, spreading a little love to his family and community. Matt Woodman, CTV News, Edmonton.
That's sweet. As many people cross items off their holiday shopping list, they may be looking to stretch their dollar by taking part in buy now, pay later plans. But one University of Calgary professor warns of the potential downfalls. CTV's Jacqueline Wilson reports.
With less than 10 days until Christmas, it's peak spending time. But experts caution falling prey to buy now, pay later plans that might have you stretching your wallet.
If we take the price of an item and divide it into installments, there's a psychological difference to what people are spending, so they don't realize it, but often they actually end up spending more than they would otherwise. They're more likely to buy an item.
Bierman adds there's often an emotional component to spending.
One of the most under-realized aspect of financial problems is this: people feel like they don't matter. People feel like they're less than other people. And I think that needs to be taken into account, that when people use buy now, pay later, when they take out payday loans, what they're trying to do is show that there's still a functional human being in society.
The average Albertan plans on spending over $1,500 on gifts, travel and entertainment this holiday season. That's down 8% from the year before, according to PwC Canada's Holiday Outlook.
Given what's going on in the economy, I think that discretionary spend is being compressed. They are spending, but they are being cautious, looking at things like, where there's promotions and different types of discounts that they can make use of to help stretch their dollars for the holidays.
Some of those heading into Chinook were divided on their shopping plans.
I'm spending a lot on myself this year, so I think I'm prioritizing myself, because other years I tend to prioritize other people, so this year I'm prioritizing myself.
We're on a budget, right? So, because we're seniors. Everybody gets something, it's just cutting down a bit.
As we're all shelling out Christmas cash, sometimes it's important to remember the best memories are often from the intangible joys of the season. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
If you're looking to spruce up your home, Your Morning Winnipeg has a contest that could help. The Winnipeg Renovation Show runs January 16th to the 18th at the RBC Convention Centre, and we have a few prizes to give away. One grand prize winner will walk away with a $1,000 gift card, 4 tickets to the show with VIP seating, and a meet and greet with Mike Holmes Jr. There's also 3 prizes of $500 gift cards with tickets to be won. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Don't forget to enter the keyword home. Good luck.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday, and for it we take you to Pittsburgh. Oilers and Penguins, we've seen this one before. Connor McDavid picking up a whole lot of speed past center ice, blows by all 4 Pittsburgh defenders, undresses his former teammate Stuart Skinner. I mean, just an unbelievable goal from McDavid, using that elite speed we know and love to break through and finish off in style. Add that to his already long highlight reel. It is your must-see moment from Tuesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we have World Juniors pre-competition action. We have Canada taking on Sweden. Puck drop for that one gets underway at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
It's Wednesday, December 17th. Today, more transit backlash. Safety and accessibility concerns grow after a hospital bus stop is moved off Victoria Hospital grounds. Plus, firefighting tech, drones, and new tools could soon help battle wildfires in areas too dangerous for crews. And mail from Santa. The North Pole is back in business as Canada Post promises replies to kids' letters this Christmas. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, it's 8 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. At 8:45, we're going to tell you about a brand new production. It's called Pamasco Tales, and it's telling the story. It's sort of a Filipino old folk tale, and it's called The Glitter Bird. So we're going to find out about this production. It's a little bit naughty. It's also very nice, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to tell you what that's all about, but the weather's not going to be fun over the next 24 hours.
A little bit naughty, a little bit nice. The nice part will actually be this morning. And actually, I think most of the day will be on the nicer side. Then it gets naughty overnight. Oh my goodness. It could really get nasty, in fact. Right now, look at this sky. Speaking of nice, how stunning is that we're waking up to this gorgeous sky this morning? It's minus 14 right now with fairly clear conditions and south winds 26 kilometers per hour with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 82%. The clouds are just beginning to build. We have been on the clearer side, but now you can see off to the west these clouds just kind of squeezing in on us as one bit of flurry activity leaves. The next round is coming, and some mixed precipitation could be moving across southern Manitoba, and plenty of it, in fact. Now, northern Manitoba, you're actually going to remain in the clear. A beautiful, bright day, but bundle up because, I mean, there's nothing beautiful about your temperatures. High minus 20s or low minus 30s as your daytime highs, and this morning waking up to wind chill values in the mid to high minus 40s. That's northern Manitoba where it is clear. Heavier clouds through central and southern Manitoba, and yes, the precipitation will likely begin about midday, continuing through the afternoon. Now today we're actually in for above seasonal temperatures. That's why I say this will be the nice part of it. And then tonight, winds will be increasing. We're talking 80-kilometer-per-hour winds, and the snow is going to continue to fall overnight. So the winds will really kick it around, reducing the visibility and creating near blizzard-like conditions. So Environment Canada has issued a warning regarding that, with those blizzard-like conditions continuing right into tomorrow morning. Now, eventually, the winds will ease, the system clears, and by tomorrow afternoon, we're actually back into brighter conditions, maybe even a bit of sunshine. But the temperatures start to fall by tomorrow afternoon as well. And then we'll remain below seasonal for the rest of the week, with another round of snow expected to be passing through on Friday before things look a little bit brighter for the coming weekend. I mentioned those below seasonal temperatures after today. So yes, today quite mild, up to -3. -11 is normal for this time of year, and we will slip just a few degrees below that as we look through the rest of the week and weekend. And our art today, very fitting for the weather that we're expecting. Snow on the way, but these couple of snowmen don't seem to mind. Thank you, 7-year-old Nora, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Another complaint over Winnipeg's new transit system. This time, a bus stop moved from Victoria Hospital to Pembina Highway. The original stop sat near the front doors under hospital security. And recent safety concerns are adding urgency to calls to move it back.
For those who are attending the hospital, those who wants to go to hospital, yeah, for them it's difficult.
Daily rider Ash Kaur says the northbound stop on Pembina works for some, but not everyone. The stop was moved off hospital grounds as part of Winnipeg Transit's network changes. City Councillor Sherry Rowland says the hospital has been pushing for months to have it reinstated. She says the new location raises accessibility and safety concerns, especially for patients, volunteers, and staff who once had security close by.
Volunteers and nurses had a proximity to their security on campus, and patients wouldn't have to limp bleeding towards the hospital.
CTV News has learned of an alleged incident that heightens concerns. A caller threatening staff, saying they would bring vigilantes to Victoria Hospital to liberate a patient. A spokesperson for Winnipeg Transit says it has met with hospital administrators, installed a pedestrian half signal, and is reviewing stops based on feedback and operational data. Adding, quote, "Our infrastructure team is evaluating the stop, and we have committed to continuing discussions with Victoria General Hospital in January." A spokesperson for the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority says staff, patients, and volunteers have raised concerns, especially for those with limited mobility in the wintertime. On the alleged threat against staff, Winnipeg police say there was a call for service and that the matter had been resolved. There were no charges and no threat to public safety. Last Friday's water main break was more than just an inconvenience for many drivers. It caused real damage to more than a dozen vehicles. Manitoba Public Insurance tells CTV News it received 19 physical damage claims by the end of the day on Sunday. That's just 2 days after crews working at the North End wastewater treatment plant damaged the water main. It caused a torrent of water to flood Main Street near Chief Peguis Trail. MPI says claims should be made as quickly as possible, and damaged vehicles should be fixed at an MPI accredited repair shop. Now to some good news from the North Pole. Canada Post says kids who want to write to Santa with their wish lists will get a response this year. All letters with the HOHOHO postal code will be mailed by December 8, will be delivered. The Crown Corporation says Santa will respond to each letter, but it can't confirm exactly when your kids' letters will be delivered. More than 1 million letters go in and out of the North Pole each year. Last Christmas, a strike by postal workers meant St. Nick couldn't respond, but we're told he did reach and read each letter. Here's a look now what's happening on the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things have picked up over here, but we do have a traffic note to tell you about. A crash at McPhillips at Leela is blocking several lanes, so you should expect delays in that part of the city. If you have any other traffic tips or updates to share, text them to us, please, at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the Manitoba Museum this morning. Tell us more on what families can expect to see when they go visit.
Rochelle, the hands-on component is always my favorite. There's always a little kid in all of us. Mike Jensen joins us to tell us and give us a bit of an experiment. So what did you bring today, Mike?
Well, for winter break, we're talking climate health, and more specifically, we're talking about our oceans, which of course cover about 70% of our planet. So they're a very important part of our climate. And we really start to see some of the changes in our oceans with our climate changing. And so I wanted to do a quick little experiment here. So I've got a balloon, and it's filled with air. So this represents our atmosphere that surrounds our planet. And of course, I've got a lighter here, and we're going to use this as the sun's energy. Now, what do you think is going to happen if I put this flame underneath this balloon? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, under pressure, I think it's going to POP.
You're absolutely right. Let's find out. Let's find out what happens then.
Woo!
So obviously that's what happened there, and that's just because air is just a terrible absorber of heat and energy. Now I have a different balloon here, and this one, my guess, is filled with water. So now what do you think is going to happen when I add the energy from the sun to it? What do you think is going to happen?
I think the opposite.
Let's find out. Once again, we're going to put the flame underneath it. And this time you might notice that the balloon is not popping, that the water stayed in there. So water is a great absorber of heat. And that makes it a very important part of what's happening with our planet right now with climate change, because about 90% of the excess heat that's coming from climate change is being absorbed by our oceans, which is fine, but it is starting to affect the life that exists. And of course, the ocean ecosystem is such a diverse and beautiful place. So we've got some amazing things that, of course, live in Earth's oceans. This one is what I'd like to call the proverbial canary in the oceans. This is a brain coral, and corals are especially susceptible to changes in temperature. So when you have a heating of our ocean, they become stressed and they bleach, and so that starts to affect the whole reef ecosystem and of course the life that relies on it for its habitat. So we're starting to see all these changes, and that's what this exhibit is all about.
Thank you so much. Head to a link on the website as well for those specific dates and times. It's happening throughout the winter break season.
Yeah,
and wear your pajamas.
And then kids are learning and they don't even know it while they're having fun. Thank you, Ainsley. Even though trips to the U.S. are down due to changes to U.S. immigration policies, travel companies say the number of Canadians packing their bags for vacation has actually increased. So where are they going? CTV's Pat Foran reports.
When it comes to Canadians choosing to travel to U.S. destinations, Flight Centre says its bookings were down substantially in 2025, and it expects that to continue into next year.
We're down close to 40% year over year in travel into the U.S.
G Adventures, a company that specializes in small group adventure travel, has noticed the same trend.
While our bookings in the United States are down, it doesn't mean that Canadians are traveling less. They're simply choosing different destinations.
So where are Canadians going? According to Flight Centre, there has been a huge increase in interest to travel to Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia, Japan, Colombia, and Switzerland. Many people are looking for good value and are willing to travel further and stay longer.
We've seen an incredible increase to somewhere like Japan, where their dollar does stretch a bit further. Places like Australia, the Canadian dollar is stronger than the Australian dollar. So Canadians, once they get there, they feel that they can really stretch their dollar.
G Adventure says its top destinations for next year include Peru, Morocco, Costa Rica, Thailand, and Japan. It's also finding travelers want to vacation when it's less crowded.
People are trying to avoid the kind of over tourism. So they're choosing to travel during quieter times, so it's not quite as busy. And they also save some money doing that as well.
And more people are also choosing to go on trips by themselves.
We're really popular with solo travelers. Female solo travelers are our largest demographic.
Both companies say most travel spots are filled for the upcoming holiday period, but many people are booking fun in the sun trips for January, February, and March. Larger destination vacations are being booked now for next summer. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Yeah, today's the kind of day that can make you want to book your next vacation too, knowing what we've got coming. Although taking a look at that sky, and why would you want to be anywhere but here? Absolutely stunning outside this morning as we look through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower expert for more than 40 years. But as soon as we lose that pretty sky, then you'll be like, get me out of here. My goodness, the snow that's coming today is going to come with some nasty winds. I think today will actually be kind of pleasant and wintry-like with that snow starting to stack up beginning later on this morning or midday. Is then tonight that things are going to take the nastiest of turns. Right now, though, these temperatures, they are above seasonal. -20 would be a normal low, and most of us here through southern Manitoba in the low to mid-minus teens. Northern Manitoba, considerably colder. You might be looking to book your trip because you've got temperatures this morning in the -30s. Clear conditions, but wind chill values pushing you up into the high -40s up around the Churchill area. You'll need all the layers on this morning. Here in the south, those wind chill values in the low -20s, closer to what a normal low temperature would be. Clear right now, but the snow is coming, and that'll be probably beginning about midday. So as kids get settled into the classroom, -12, still some sunshine, but then with the clouds comes the snow. -7 through the lunch hour, and -4 by the time they're coming home. And in fact, -3 is our expected high today, well above normal. That's why I say today, a little bit of snow, mild temperatures, moderate winds. It'll be pleasant. And then tonight, those winds gusting to about 80 kilometers per hour. Snow still falling, but blowing, whipping around near zero visibility in those blizzard-like conditions. So temperatures will even be falling tomorrow afternoon after that blizzard-like condition probably ends through tomorrow morning and then clears out through the afternoon, but those temperatures dropping off. And from there, with another round of snow by the end of the week, we'll finally get that clearing as we're looking ahead to the weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
President Donald Trump has ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers going into and leaving Venezuela, ratcheting up pressure on Caracas as the U.S. builds up its military presence in the region. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. That's what Trump wrote on social media on Tuesday. The move boosted oil and metals prices along with stocks in Europe. Ottawa and Ontario are set to sign a deal Thursday that will reduce the regulatory burden on large projects, including the road to the Ring of Fire, according to the Canadian press. Provincial and federal government sources, who are not allowed to speak publicly, say Ottawa has agreed to eliminate any repetitive work on its impact assessments on large projects. A source in the Premier's office, who's not allowed to speak publicly about the yet-to-be-announced deal, says the changes will dramatically speed up big projects across the province, including roads, highways, and mines. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
When you wrap your holiday presents this year, you may want to consider doing it in a more environmentally friendly way. It's estimated that Canadians throw out 540,000 tons of wrapping paper over the holidays, and that just ends up in the landfill. There are ways you can wrap your presents without hurting the planet. Joining us now from the Green Action Center is Kristen Mallett. Good morning, Kristen.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, those numbers are really shocking.
I know.
Tell us a little bit about how much that is, considering the other months of the year.
Yeah, so apparently in December we create 25% more waste than any other month in the year.
Wow.
Yeah, so it can seem like a little bit when you have your wrapping paper, but if you think about it, after all the presents are unwrapped, you have that big garbage bag full of wrapping paper, and it really adds up.
And that wrapping paper often can't be, it's not compostable, it's not really recyclable, it's just garbage.
Correct. Okay. Because it's so pretty, it has a lot of the metallic materials on it or glitter, and it's usually lined with plastic as well, so that it lasts longer. And because of all of those reasons, it's not recyclable or compostable.
So you could do things in a more creative way that is better for the planet. And you brought some examples here of eco-friendly ways of wrapping your presents. I love this one. This is just an old map that you found, and you just wrapped it in it. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, this is an old Winnipeg bike blank map.
Okay.
I have a lot of old maps lying around as well. So it acts just like wrapping paper. It's paper, and you just wrap it like you would with regular wrapping paper.
Because we don't really use maps anymore. We use our phones, right?
I know.
So you probably have some in your glove box that you never look at, so why not use them? Okay, that's a great option. You also have this gift idea, which I love, and we're going to get you to demonstrate for us. You're not only gifting a puzzle in this case, but also a scarf, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is a beautiful scarf. There's a lot of people who love scarves, or you can use a tea towel that you want to gift them. Especially you can go to the thrift store and find a lot of older fabrics as well.
Right.
And so this is like a Japanese technique actually of wrapping presents in fabric.
Okay, so how do you get started?
Yeah, so basically you have it on a diagonal.
Yeah.
And then you put the present in the middle. It's nice using a rectangular shape.
You want to make sure you have the same length on both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So looks good.
Same on that end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm not the best at wrapping presents, and this is easy. So you pull this end over, and there's some left over, so you just tuck that underneath the box.
Okay.
And then you pull this end over as well, and I'm going to turn it around.
Okay.
And then there's going to be some excess hanging over, so you just fold it like you would with wrapping paper.
Yeah, tuck it in.
And then just pull it tight.
Okay.
And then you have these two ends left over, so you just fold this end over here like you would with wrapping paper, pull it tight.
Yeah.
And then you do the same with this end, pull it tight, and then
more tucking, right?
Yeah, and then you just kind of cross over.
Nice and tight.
Very nice and tight. Can fix that, just tuck that under.
Perfect.
And then you just tuck the ends underneath like that.
And it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And two gifts in one. I love this idea. Look how pretty that is.
Yeah.
You also have old brown paper bags that you can use. You have this eco-friendly brown paper bag as well. And you're recommending people just reuse this. Once Christmas is over, pack it up, put it away, and use it again next year.
Yeah, this is from my Rubbermaid bin of old gift bags that
I
we've
have
received.
one too.
Yeah.
These are also old Christmas cards that you received. You can cut them up and make some gift tags with them.
Exactly. So I did that with this one.
That's wonderful.
It's really cute. And then with this one, you can just stick it in the
right
top.
in there.
And there you go.
Great ideas. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Aw, so creative and fun, and maybe a great craft to keep you busy if you don't want to be outside over the next few days. Although I'm happy being outside right now. It's quite a pleasant start to the day. The sun is up. Blue sky at the moment. We'll enjoy the sunshine through the morning hours before things take a twisted turn. Mother Nature showing off her sense of humor, perhaps. Minus 13 is where we're sitting right now, which is actually above seasonal. But the winds, they are starting to increase a bit. They're up to 29 clicks out of the south, making that minus 13 feel like minus 22. So throw those extra layers on and you'll be glad you did. The pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 84%. The sun is only likely to last throughout the morning hours. By about late morning or midday, we'll start to see the first of the snow. But throughout the day today, with the temperatures on the rise and moderate winds and that snow falling, it'll look pretty and wintry and festive. And then that sense of humor I was talking about from Mother Nature, like dark humor I'm talking, because tonight winds gusting to 80 kilometers per hour. The snow will continue to fall but whip around on those strong winds. With near zero visibility expected, especially in some of the outlying areas, Environment Canada is warning of those blizzard-like conditions to last not just overnight but into tomorrow morning as well. But then eventually the winds taper off, the system clears, back to the sunshine for tomorrow, but the temperatures will actually drop off for tomorrow afternoon. So enjoy today, getting up to a high of minus 3. That puts us well above seasonal. A little bit of snow, but then a lot more snow to come overnight and into tomorrow. This little guy is ready in his cute little sleigh. Thanks to Neil for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Weather brought to you by the Winnipeg Humane Society. From all the dogs, cats, and critters, thank you for your kindness.
Everybody's looking to save a few bucks, not just through the holidays, but really all year round. But we are talking specifically about holiday saving tips, and Camila Kipczynski joins me today from Efficiency Manitoba. So thanks for coming in and having the chat with us, because like I said, we're all looking to save a few bucks, and that's where your tips are coming from today. So let's talk overall, just in our homes and in our spaces.
Yeah, so as the holidays are approaching, we're welcoming more people, more guests, more family into the home. We're cooking more, and that means our homes are heating up more naturally. So this is actually a great time to set back your thermostat.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Roll it back. As you know, the folks would always say, put a sweater on. Put a sweater on, right?
I know. I can like literally feel my husband yelling at me right now through the screen, being like, don't touch the thermostat. But actually, Terry, it's okay to touch it in this instance. Okay. Because what we're doing is we're setting it back by a few temperatures, and this ensures that, you know, with all this extra heat that's in the house, you're not having to crack a window open. We all have that uncle that cracks the window open.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And you know, it also gives your heating system a bit of a break, and this way, you know, your guests and your home feel comfy and cozy. Okay. I will say though that there is a bit, it really depends on the type of heating system you have in your home. So if you have a ground source or an air source heat pump, then you want to be a little bit more gentle with your setback by really only setting it back by 1 or 2 degrees at the most. But every other heating system, you can feel free to set it back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about the kitchen, because that's always a hub of activity. How can we save a few bucks within our kitchen space?
Yeah, so the kitchen during the holidays is always very, very busy, but it doesn't have to work overtime to meet your energy needs. So I always say, you know, when you're cooking up a storm for a crowd, try to use some small appliances to cook part of your meal, right? It frees up that much needed oven space, which, you know, you need when you're cooking for a crowd, but you can also use like an air fryer or a slow cooker or even like a toaster oven to prepare part of your meal. And then another thing to remember is to actually go ahead and unplug those small appliances, because even if they're off, they're still drawing power in the background. It's called phantom power. I know it sounds very spooky, but it's very real. And so when you actually unplug them, you're making sure that they don't.
And that's just a good thing to keep in mind all year round, right? With all of your appliance that you're not using.
And dishes, you know, we all have them after we eat. So I always say, just a quick tip to even remind, you know, your kids or anyone that's helping you in the kitchen to only run the dishwasher when it's full and use that air dry setting.
Okay, excellent tip there. We don't want to run out of time, but let's talk about some decor and maybe some wrapping.
Yeah, okay, so let's start with wrapping, because that's like my favorite thing.
Okay.
But you can consider things like recycled gift paper, or you can get like really creative and use like a vintage scarf or even like a holiday themed tea towel. And one of the things that I'm really excited to try this year is plantable seat cards. So rather than doing like a traditional Christmas card or a gift tag, you can use these plantable seat cards that literally turn into flowers or plants later in the year. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving.
I love that. And not only are you saving a few bucks, better for the environment overall. Any last minute tips or where people can go for more information?
Yeah, I would say if you're interested in this or any other seasonal tips, our website, efficiencymb.ca, is a great place to start. But I would also say check out our social media, because we have so much fun on there, and we're actually doing like an Elf on the Shelf themed little segment on there where our little elf gives out more seasonal energy saving tips to enjoy during the holidays.
That sounds like way too much fun. Camila, thanks so much for coming in and having the chat, and great ways for you to save a few bucks this holiday season.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Oh, how stunning is that? Beautiful bit of sunshine to enjoy this morning before everything takes a turn. We're in for a snowy afternoon. Minus 13 is where we're sitting right now, but it feels like minus 22 as the winds out of the south are gusting to 29 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 84%. And yeah, this might be the last bit of sunshine that we see for a couple of days, so make the most of it and enjoy what will be a fairly pleasant day. I know I've been talking about the snow that's coming, but I still think that even with that snow, things today will be quite pleasant. It's on the clearer side right now. The clouds just beginning to build. There's the precipitation off to the west. That'll be moving in. We'll likely see it beginning about midday and then continuing through the afternoon. But our temperatures today rising well above normal to a high of minus 3. With a moderate wind, we'll notice that, but it's going to be increasing overnight. And that's when things will really start to get a little bit nasty, because those winds tonight could gust to about 80 kilometers per hour out of the north, and the snow will still be falling. Our temperatures drop to about minus 18, so close closer to that more seasonal zone. But the falling snow, the blowing snow, the drifting snow, and near zero visibility due to all of that activity and those intense winds. So Environment Canada is warning of those blizzard-like conditions to continue overnight and into tomorrow morning. But then tomorrow afternoon, the sky begins to clear and those winds will ease. But tomorrow morning, those winds still gusting to about 70 clicks. And as it clears, those temperatures then start to fall off and will remain slightly below seasonal throughout the rest of the week and weekend. While it might clear tomorrow afternoon, we've got another round of snow on Friday, and then it does look a little bit brighter for this coming weekend.
Thank you, Terry. The former head of security at South Beach Casino and Resort has launched a wrongful dismissal lawsuit. Devin Morin alleges he was fired over concerns he raised about the flow of illegal drugs into the facility. In his lawsuit, Morin says he was told in July he was losing his job after a workplace harassment complaint. However, the suit denies the allegation and says Morin was never told what alleged incident or incidents the harassment complaint referred to, saying he was not given a chance to respond. Instead, the court filing claims Morin was fired after, quote, raising concerns with management about the increased prevalence of illegal drugs in the casino, including drugs being sold to South Beach staff and the believed source of said drugs. Morin is seeking an unspecified amount in damages. His legal counsel declined to comment after being contacted by CTV News. South Beach Casino and Resort CEO say a statement of defense will be filed soon, but wouldn't comment any further. With Christmas just days away, the Christmas Cheer Board is putting out a call for help to make sure no family is left behind. More than 5,000 Christmas hampers are still waiting to be delivered to families across Winnipeg. Anyone with a vehicle and a little time can pitch in by heading to the Cheer Board warehouse at 133 Paramount Road near Inkster and Keewatin. There's no need to sign up. Volunteers can simply show up and will be sent out with 3 to 5 hampers to deliver. The warehouse is open weekdays from 9 to 8 and weekends from 9 to 4. The Christmas Cheer Board says every delivery helps spread some holiday cheer to those who need it most. An 87-year-old man is giving back to his community in a unique way. He finds discarded bicycles, and as CTV's Adam Sawatsky shows you, he makes them good as new for Christmas.
This is the handiest one I've got.
Although Dennis Baker has always been good with his hands,
I like working with tools.
He didn't realize how much good he could do with them.
I love doing it.
Until after a train door cut his finger off.
The door closed and the latch caught my finger, and just like that, it was gone.
But rather than complain about it, Dennis proved to be the sort of person who makes comedy out of it. Although he wasn't laughing when Dennis started noticing broken bikes being discarded around the neighborhood.
I was mad.
But after confirming they were left behind by families who'd moved away, Dennis began collecting them.
I didn't know a bicycle from a motorcycle.
To see if he could figure out how to fix them.
But through trial and error, I learned, and now there's not many things I can't repair on a bicycle.
That first year, Dennis refurbished 6 bikes for fun.
I may as well do something with them, so I did.
So he donated them to the executive director of the Christmas Bureau, Chris Bayless.
I was amazed.
Well, Dennis was so inspired, he kept donating more and more each year.
It felt great because I knew I was doing something good for someone else.
Now, the 87-year-old spends 6 hours a day, every day, finding and refurbishing more than 130 bikes a year.
Dennis Baker's a legend. In spite of sometimes ill health and all the other issues that come with aging and being a busy person, he just finds time to do it every year.
And although Dennis has never seen the smiles inspired by the more than 1,000 bikes he's gifted over the years, he's grateful to hear they're big.
You thought I'd given him a brand new Cadillac. He was just over the moon, apparently thrilled with his bicycle. And that's what it's all about.
It's about choosing to make bad things better, Dennis says. And when it comes to helping others, make them the best. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
It's lovely. Here's a look at what's happening on the St. James Bridge. Things have picked up here, moving well overall. But we do have a traffic note to tell you about in the Garden City area. All westbound lanes are now closed by a traffic crash at Leela and McPhillips. You should expect some long delays there. Maybe even avoid the area if you can. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us. Let's look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.25. The provincial average is substantially lower at $1.16. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.14, and the lowest price in the city is $1.04. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for a question of the day. We wanted to know, how do you get prepared for the winter weather? Peter says, I prepare for bad weather by acknowledging that anything I need to do can wait until the weather improves, hunker down and stay home. Mark said he tries to make sure that he has enough food and medications when we have a winter storm warning. Those are all great answers. Thank you so much for your responses. Let's go down to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the Manitoba Museum. It's a great place to visit during the holidays. They have a lot going on there. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yeah, they've got pajama days. You can find Frosty. You could head to the bottom part of the non-such, an exclusive opportunity to do that. But there's also some time in the new year for a beadathon. Tashina Hool-Gaywish joins us to tell us all about it. You have brought these stunning artifacts. Tell us about a few of them.
Yeah, so first, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to highlight the beadathon this year. So as part of the beadathon, we have collections pop-ups, and that entails me bringing out a bunch of our ancestral belongings, aka artifacts. So we have here a few of my favorites. These are all mostly from the late 19th century. This vest here is Cree, Plains Cree. This wall hanging over here is Gwich'in, and it's so beautiful. Can you imagine just having like your letters in there? Like,
it's immaculate.
it's a beautiful decoration. And then we have some Dakota moccasins here, and then this pin cushion I love so much because of the little heart, and then the part where there's like where the needle was sticking in there. So I brought out this pin cushion because for the beginner beaders that are joining us at the beadathon, they have a choice to get one of the beading kits. And in the beading kit, there are all the things that you need to make a pin cushion. So Cynthia Boehm, a lovely Cree Métis artist that we work with here at the museum, created this beading kit for us. And there's an example there of the pin cushion that folks will be making.
We're almost out of time. There's never enough. When can people take advantage of this?
It'll be on January 4th from 10 till 3. And yeah, just look forward to a day filled with beading, with community, and with your favorite artists. We'll have 16 beading buddies, and our host will be the lovely Gloria Beckman.
Thank you so much. And also the Canada Strong Pass is allowing people to come to the museum for free. Head to a link on our website for more details.
Free is a great price. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's feeling nice to start off this day.
Yeah, and I really think that today will be the most pleasant of what's to come, and that's because these temperatures will be on the rise, and we're actually still enjoying sunshine and clear conditions right now with above seasonal temperatures. And just a moderate wind today. I mean, that wind is somewhat noticeable. I'm somewhat sheltered from it, but it's out of the south and is gusting to 29 kilometers per hour. However, we're sitting right now at minus 13. With the wind, I suppose it feels more like minus 22. So that's what you're going to want to dress for out here, but also grab the sunglasses, maybe only for another hour or so before these heavier clouds build up. And those clouds will be bringing some snow, and that's likely to begin about midday. And then that's when things really start to kind of snowball, if you will. Because the snow will continue through the afternoon, but the temperature is still rising. We'll get to a high of about minus 3 all through southern Manitoba, these above seasonal temperatures. But then tonight, well, the temps will be dropping, but the snow will continue to fall and the winds increasing, at times gusting to 80 kilometers per hour. So snow, blowing snow, blizzard-like conditions. That'll take us right into tomorrow morning, where it will eventually clear by tomorrow afternoon. But those temperatures just keep falling. Taking a break right now, and we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
The BC government is trying to find new high-tech ways to fight wildfires. One option is sending drones into the thick of the battle where it might be too dangerous for humans. CTV's Martin McMahon now on the technology and what else is in the works.
BC has seen record-setting wildfire seasons in recent years, forcing large-scale evacuations and causing significant personal and economic devastation. Now a push by the provincial government to develop new firefighting technology.
And I'm pleased to be here on behalf of the government of BC to officially launch the Forestry Innovation and Emergency Management Testbed to make sure that we are supporting our forest sector and protecting our communities from extreme weather events.
The program will allow companies to apply for government funding, taking some of the financial risk out of innovation, with a large focus on coming up with new aerial firefighting methods, potentially through the use of drones.
Developing solutions that work in real wildfire and emergency conditions isn't easy. It takes serious investment and the courage to take early risks. This testbed will help reduce risk for everyone. Companies like ours developing new technology, and the early adopters ready to put in the work.
Drones offer some potential advantages over helicopters. One operator can fly multiple drones at once, while delivering similar payloads of water or retardant, and sometimes are able to fly in conditions that would be unsafe for human pilots.
As companies like this grow, the focus is on helping them continue along that path, from research and development to early pilots and into the next stage of commercialization.
Beyond wildfires, the government is also making the program open to those in the areas of flood prevention, forestry management, and emergency management. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Vancouver.
A new theater production is delivering a holiday treat to Manitoba's Filipino community and beyond. The You and I Together Productions brings back to life an old Filipino folktale about a glamorous queen who lives in the forest. It's titled The Glitter Bird, and it's a part of a holiday series called Pamasco Tales. It's a little naughty show that promises fun for the entire family. Joining us now are the Glitter Bird's playwright Primrose Madayag Nazin, and performer Matthew, I know I'm going to get this wrong, Matthew, I'm sorry, Pagtalunan, aka Nila Ganda. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now tell us a little bit about these folk tales. These are old traditional tales from the Philippines, aren't they?
Yes. Basically, the story of Ibang Adarna is a story that I actually kind of know from when I was a kid. I remember watching the movie with my parents.
Okay.
Where a family, it's actually like a king and queen. The queen gets sick. The king sends his sons to find the Ibang Adarna, which is this magical bird that's supposed to heal people. However, this bird poops on people and turns into stone.
So that's the naughty part.
Yes.
Yes. But there's also a nice part to this story. What is the nice part?
The nice part in the story is that it is a story about family and acceptance. The way I rewrote The Glitter Bird, once I remembered that story about this bird pooping on people, I thought, well, I definitely want a drag queen to play the bird, and she is going to poop glitter.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about that character that you play, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
AKA Nila, right?
Yes, the Glitter Bird is this fabulous diva who lives in the forest, who grants wishes with a melodic voice and breathtaking dance moves.
Ooh.
Yes.
And so it really is entertainment for the whole family.
Yes, absolutely.
What does it mean to the community to be able to celebrate these old folktales? Because you've grown up with these stories, right? And the Glitter Bird is just one story because they're called Pamasco Tales, right?
Yes, with Pamasco Tales, we're looking at folk tales that takes place at Christmas. Pasko means Christmas.
Okay.
And for our stories, Filipino stories tend to be told through singing and through dance. And so that's why we wanted this panto-style musical play in order to invite the Filipino community, celebrate singing and dancing.
And it's really going to be a celebration of your culture as well. You want to share that with not just the Filipino community, with a greater community as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. What I really wanted to do was create this story that would be accessible to everyone and have the universal themes of love and acceptance. I also wanted to create a story that celebrated queer storytelling, because we do have a drag queen as who plays the titular character, and one of our characters is actually non-binary as well.
Okay, what does it mean to you, Matthew, to be a part of something like this?
Oh, I think it is an absolutely incredible opportunity. I just love the fact that I could be a out loud and proud queer Filipino and bring that within me in this fantastic role that celebrates it and makes it like it shows the fun and the whimsy and the glamorous and the fierceness that comes with being a queer Filipino and a drag queen.
And I love the glitter you're sporting today as well. Now, we're almost out of time already. When and where can people check this out?
This will be between December 22nd, starting next week, next Monday, all the way until the 30th at the Philippine Cultural Center.
And you can buy tickets online? Is that how it works? Okay, perfect. There you go. If you want more information, we have a link on our website as well. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And break a leg, Matthew.
Thank you very much. I will.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, but to the rest of you, don't break your legs. It could get slick out there because of these conditions. We're talking winds that will be increasing, especially overnight, although even right now, those winds, they're out of the south up to 29 kilometers per hour. Minus 13 is where we're sitting at the moment, with the pressure falling and the humidity at 84%. We're just beginning to see some clouds moving in. It has been quite clear, but with the clouds will come the snow. Northern Manitoba, totally different story, sorry. I'm struggling with my throat a little bit. Northern Manitoba can expect to deal with some sunshine but cold temperatures. This isn't going to go well. Rochelle, do you want to read the numbers for me? I'll step off.
Minus 28 in Lynn Lake. Oh, minus 14 in Swan River. Minus 12 in Dauphin. Brandon, minus 4. And in Neepawa, minus 8. This is what it looks like. Gimli will have minus 8. And then Barons River, minus 13. Here's what's happening in northwestern Ontario. And this is a look at your 7-day forecast. The snow is coming overnight tonight. Be mindful of that and prepare yourselves. But we will see sunshine on the weekend. We'll be back after this break.
Arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
And now we're going to wrap things up this morning with some fun video. The world's only brown and white panda is living in captivity but is keeping busy. Walking on his hind legs. The Giant Panda Research Center runs training courses twice a day by putting together exercises that keep them upright. It's meant to help them stay active throughout the winter. Brown and white pandas are relatively rare, and the unique coloring is caused by a genetic mutation.
They do stuff like that for me here, too. Otherwise, I'd be like napping all afternoon. They're like, stay up, stay up.
So cute. Well, Christmas caroling usually happens door to door, but in Belfast, it happens in the pubs.
Won't you come, my love? Won't you come on the street where the drink flows like water? Where else would you be?
The Shamrocks, and man, can they sing. The group of 5 started singing their original song, Christmas in Belfast, while sitting in the corner of a local pub.
That's beautiful.
That's good for your throat, Terry. And dozens of people dressed in red swimwear and braved freezing temperatures in Budapest for the annual half-naked Santa run. They ran cheering across the city center, stopping for exercises, push-ups, dancing, and singing. They also stopped to hand out candies and spread holiday cheer, while also making an effort to raise money for charities. That is different. Imagine Santa here doing that. Not a good thing when it's this cold. That does it for us. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.